hate this industry. I absolutely hate it. There's like 5 good people. They're all my friends. The 5 good people in this industry, okay, there's like 15 of them. They're all my friends. Everyone else.
It's a
really tough industry.
It's a tough business.
Full of sharks and full of shallow people and full of people who only want to be close to you when you're succeeding.
100%.
All right, what's good, homie?
How are you? You good?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you, Loren. Thanks for coming over here.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you.
Yeah.
My 8 till fade fam.
Oh, we're starting like that?
We're starting like this.
All right.
My
all
8
right.
till fade fam.
8 to fade, man.
8 till fade. You got to tat it up. For the record, my company, so she thought it was my company. She got the tattoo.
No. She said it. Okay. All right. Let's clear this up. Jesse,
Yes.
in the song Say Nobody, says 8 till faint, right? Because it's about working hard and it's about being a kid of immigrants.
Fuck a 9 to 5, I go 8
Fuck
to
a 9 to 5, I go 8 till faint.
Yes.
When I heard that song, okay, before I started working with her, with y'all, I had a visceral reaction to it. I was sobbing. It gutted me. I thought she said 8 to fade. Because we use fade a lot in Miami.
Yeah.
I didn't check the lyrics. I was on the 101, just driving 80 miles an hour, sobbing. I texted my tattoo artist and I was like, get me an appointment as soon as possible. 3 days later, I tattooed 8 to fade on my arm.
Yes.
And then, what, like 6 months later, we started working together?
Yeah, you came to the show at the Novo.
At the Novo.
In LA. We met for the first time. And I think that's when we first started working. We were about to start working together.
We had already started working together.
That was
the first
we all
time
met in person. Yeah. And then hit it off right away. And then you showed me the tattoo, I think, that same day.
I had already FaceTime with Jess.
Yeah.
And my friend Rudy introduced us and I was like, oh, I tattooed a lyric of Say Nobody on my arm and da-da-da-da. And then I showed you guys so proud. I was like, yo, look, this is the tattoo I got.
For context.
And you guys were so weird about it.
I know what it is the first time meeting. For context, the name of my company is called 8 Till Faint. And so you heard 8 Till Fade. And I do remember you showing the tattoo, like, look, I got 8 Till Fade. Like the lyrics in the song. And I remember looking and be like, yeah. I was like, yo. I don't remember when I had the balls to tell you, like, hey, man, it's the wrong lyrics. But
when was that?
It couldn't have been too much later because we hit it off right away.
Yeah, we did. I don't remember when it was, but I started noticing on your signature that it was 8 Till Faint. And
Is that how it happened?
Yeah, I started noticing that it was 8. Yes, now I remember. I noticed I was like 8 Till Faint. And then I was like, wait a minute. So I checked the lyrics
too similar.
on Genius. And it said 8 Till Faint. And I was like, oh, no. But I didn't tell anybody, not even Juan, my partner. I didn't even tell no one. I was so embarrassed. I was like, of course I tattooed the wrong lyric on me. I've never tattooed any artist's lyric on me, anything. And then one day, I think we were drinking somewhere. And I was like,
oh, for sure.
You guys, I tattooed the wrong lyric.
Like,
you guys were like, we know.
We know.
We didn't have the heart to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, you know when it was?
What?
Oh no. Was it in New York when we were doing promo in New York and everybody from the label was there and then you guys told everybody from the label in Island?
I don't know, maybe.
Everybody was crying.
Maybe. You'd have to ask Byron or Jesse because I don't remember that part.
Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. We were crying.
Yeah, that was good times. But yo, that's actually why, you're an incredible publicist.
Thank you.
Because you don't have to necessarily have to care about whether the artist is crushing it or whether the artist has got amazing status doing arenas. Like you just said, you like had a visceral reaction, and that's enough for you to work with an artist. Where does that come from?
Passion, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really passionate. So I have this little reputation in the industry now
Do you?
that yeah. Well, I mean,
Yes, yes.
there's people who think very different things about me,
Right.
but even some of my own friends who are colleagues, they're just like, every time I bring you a client, you say no, you know? And
How come?
I say because I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position right now, thankfully, that I don't have to take clients just to pay the bills. I take clients because I love what they do. And I chased you guys for a year. I don't know if you remember, but I found you guys' contact through like someone who worked with Beyonce's team, and then they knew you. And I came at you through like different ways. And I tried to get on Jesse's project for a year until one day my friend
In my
Rudy,
mind, we met and was like, yeah, she's the shit.
because
Let's go.
somebody who worked at Island, which was Rudy, right? He brought me in.
Okay.
But I emailed you guys and I was like, I would love to do her Latin press. Like I tried to work with you guys for a year before that.
Right.
So when they called me and they're like, do you know who Jessie Reyes is? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, do I know who Jessie? I have a tattoo of that woman.
Yeah,
Like,
her
what do you
lyrics.
mean? I have her lyrics tattooed on me. So it was like crazy. But yeah, like going back to what I was saying, a lot of people call me and they hit me up, and I just, for me, if I don't love it and if my team doesn't love it, it's very democratic at Guerrera. If we're not feeling it,
Mhm.
just don't do it. And so I tell people, look, thank me, right? Because it's like, do you want me to take your money and not feel it and do a shitty job? I don't do a good job if I don't like the project. You know?
That
Just don't.
one thing that I say to artists all the time, to be honest, because they'll ask me, and early on in their career, they'll ask me, not so much anymore, but before it used to be like, I feel like I need a publicist. I'm like, I don't think you do, to be honest with you. And what I say is, unless they're coming to you, I don't think you should hire a publicist, because you're going to be paying whatever amount of money for them, and they're not going to prioritize you. You don't even know where that money's going.
Right.
I feel like it's better if the publicist finds you in some way, shape, or form. Or if I was like, if we're homies and I say, hey, yo, you should listen to this music, you're like, I fuck with it heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll go to it.
Right.
Is that the right way to think about it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So here's the thing. In the industry, most artists who have a budget and most artists who have some sort of like label deal or distro or marketing deal or whatever, they already have a publicist. So
Mhm.
I don't really go and look, because most of the people most of the artists who I like in the industry already have a publicist, and I don't poach.
Mm-hmm.
So I let people just come to me. Sometimes if I know that that person's looking for a publicist and I like them, I'll put a bid in, I'll send a proposal. But I think having a publicist is about timing, right? I think, for instance, like I have a couple projects right now who I love and I think they're super talented, but they're stagnant. Like nothing's happening with them, right? And so I only can carry you up until a certain point.
What do you mean?
So like they're not touring.
Okay.
They don't have any major collabs. They don't have like a strategy. They haven't broken in any market. So for me, it's like, okay, I've taken you as far as I can go,
Mhm.
you know? So
Mhm.
I think a lot of times it's really hard to develop an artist. For example, every Friday, you have the new music Friday roundup.
Yeah.
This week, Carol G dropped like
I heard
5
that.
songs of the album.
She's singing in English.
Yeah, so there's all these huge artists you're competing with for the same
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
And so if you're not having like a moment, or you're not buzzing, or there's like something, that's special about you, it's going to be really hard to get those placements. So I think instead of investing in a publicist, I think you should just like wait. And for me, it's about timing.
So what's the role then of a publicist in 2025 versus what it was in, say, 2015 or 2010?
I think our role is the same. I think the way that we that we story tell is different.
Okay.
Right? Because now there's a lot more avenues. So the way you tell an artist's story on TikTok is very different than how you do it in editorial, right? Or, if you go on a podcast, it's very different, what you're pitching for in a podcast. Like there's podcasts that you can talk about something that's deeply personal or relationships or something that has to do with the music business. Like, so I think, you have to find different angles for different types of platforms and different types of media. I think before social media, because I worked in PR during the Stone Ages, really, it was like the Stone Age. So it was just
way different.
Way different. And it was like the same thing, right? It was just like there wasn't a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
Because the formats were they were just the same. It's like a radio interview, something for print and TV.
Right.
Right?
And so, it just depended on the level of like what the print was, television,
But it's like you're doing the same interview and there's not like, oh, we're going to do 10 questions, right. 10 rapid fire questions, or we're going to do this content, or we're going to do this with this influencer. So it was just like it was just the same thing.
All right, listen up, guys. Gonna have to take a quick break from the podcast because I want to talk to you about your music rollouts. Listen, most artists fail because they don't have a plan for their music. There's no strategy, no timeline, no idea what to do after the song drops. That's where Venice Music comes in. Venice is built to help independent artists release music the right way with guidance at every step. They create personalized rollout strategies based on the artist's goals, timeline, and release. They handle global distribution to every single major platform, and they offer the best customer support in the game. Now, this is real people you can actually talk to when you need help. It's not just about getting your music out. It's never been about just getting your music out. It's about doing it with intention, backed by a strategy that makes every move count. So if you or your artist is gearing up to release, don't just upload and hope. You got to go to Venice Music and get your free personalized rollout strategy. We'll also have a link in the description below for you to check it out. Now let's get back to the pod. So, I know this is a very general question, but again, it's just, a lot of the audience that I think watches this are people who are just trying to understand it, trying to get into the business.
Right.
I feel like I know what the answer is, but I'm going to ask you anyways. What does good PR look like in 2025?
I think strategy is super key. And I know that sounds really obvious, but you'd be surprised at the amount of publicists who don't have a strategy, right? What does that mean? So, okay, I take you on as a client right now.
Yeah.
We're in June.
Yeah.
What events are happening from June till December, right? So in the Latin industry, there's these award shows happening here. There's these major festivals. There's Latin Billboard Week. There's the Latin Grammys. In Art Basel, there's a lot of stuff that happens in Miami during that week. So how are we going to flesh out your, there's LAMC now in July in New York. How are we going to create a strategy incorporating all these events, right? So that you maximize the visibility. So, okay, so LAMC week, for example, that's in a couple weeks in New York, July 8th through the 11th. And it's a week where a lot of the industry goes and there's showcases and all the labels do showcases and it's really cool, right?
Yeah.
There's panels. It's like a billboard, like Latin Billboard Week. So, okay, we have an artist, I have a client right now who's performing at the LAMC. So then what's the strategy? Do we drop a single before the LAMC or do we get eyes on the project first? And now that you have all these eyes on you, then the next week we go out with a single. So it's like that type of strategy, right? And I'm like, okay, well, don't drop, your EP the week before Latin Grammy because the only people getting coverage are the people who are nominated.
Yeah.
So it sounds simple, but a lot of people don't even build strategy around that.
Yeah,
so also like strategy includes like, what type of content are we going to create? Who are we going to give those content pieces to? Influencers. This is something that 20 years ago, we didn't have influencers.
Right.
We didn't have to think about that. We didn't have to create content. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's really, really key.
It's crazy because I'd like, even now I think about, I was talking to somebody about this the other day where he was thinking about strategy in terms of, okay, well, if my artist is from LA, I want to make sure that I get a young LA artist that as a feature, somebody that's a little bit more above, but in the same kind of generation. And then my head immediately goes to like, well, who are the popping streamers in Los Angeles that the artist can actually go to? I think about it like that in terms of like good publicity. But how often are you thinking about the podcast and the streamers? Is that grown a lot more in the space?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And that's something that most of my clients, my clients are like the cool kids.
They're not trying to do that shit?
No, they are.
Oh.
That's the only thing they're trying to do. They're not trying to do anything that's traditional.
Everybody wants to go on Kai?
Everybody wants to go on Kai. So yeah, everybody's moving into that direction. And a lot of times they're like, oh, can we do content with this influencer?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, sure. What's your budget? Right? So I mean,
you got paid to get onto these?
Most of them. Yeah.
Really?
That's the only way that they make their money.
The streamers?
Some streamers,
yeah.
Most influencers, some no.
Oh, influencers, yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm talking about mostly influencers, yeah.
Okay. What kind of influencers? Like that?
TikTokers.
And going and doing something with them.
Doing any type of content.
Those are small hits with those people. Yeah, they're all over the place right now.
Yeah.
But you're not. You talk about looking at the calendar, but you're also looking at it just depending on who the artist is, right? You got to get to know who the artist is.
Of course.
Yeah. Can you give an example of some of these, a rollout that you had that it went incredibly well as a recent, where like you hit all the targets and everything kind of got a little bit bigger?
Sure. I think my favorite case study is Jay Noah.
Okay.
So you know Jay Noah, right?
Yeah.
So I started working with Jay Noah when she was 17 years old, right? So she's, for me, one of the most fire rappers, right? And I say in Latin only because she doesn't rap in English.
Right.
But if she did rap in English, she'd be insane. She'd bodied everybody. So Jay, I picked her up. She had a little buzz in Santo Domingo in DR. And I fell in love with her like right off the bat. You know, I'm a big hip hop head. So I was like, oh my God, all right, let's go. So the first single she came out with was about a girl who had a kid who got impregnated after like having a threesome and started doing drugs and then like abandoned her baby because she was like fucked up on drugs. This is a 17-year-old who wrote this song when she was like 16. And in the video, she's an Afro-Latina woman, very dark skinned, and she comes from like one of the toughest hoods in DR. And the whole entire video was like a white family like going into the hood in like a golf cart, just like seeing how they live, like almost like it was like a spectacle type of thing. You know what I mean? And like she's 17 years old. Like when I saw that video, I was just like, what? She was still in high school.
It's like some Nas shit.
Some Nas shit. Like Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
For me, she's like a young Lauren.
Oh, okay.
She's like, if Lauryn Hill and Busta Rhymes had a child, this would be Jay Noah.
That's good. That's a good comparison.
Yeah. Just because she has Busta Rhymes speed, you know? Anyway, so I just started like talking to everybody about her, and I'm just like, this girl's a phenomenon. She's 17 years old and she's writing stuff that's so deep. She was already writing songs like criticizing her government.
Were you working with her already at this point or no?
I started working with her with this song.
Okay.
And I was just like, poof. So in 6 months, I got her on Tiny Desk.
Nice.
And
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that.
My other clients were pissed.
What?
Because they were like waiting for years.
We'll talk about that in a second, but yeah, go on.
So within 6 months, I hit up Bobby Carter. Shout out by Bobby Carter. He's my boy. And I hit up everybody out. Anna, Maria, who's like my sister, Felix. I was like, you got it, this girl, da-da-da. 6 months later, they were like, Loren, Jay Noah. And I was like, I know, I've been telling you, right? So it happens. Check this out. She's 18 by the time she gets on Tiny Desk, right? Wow. She had never performed in like a hood party. She had never performed outside of a hood party. And I'm talking about like un teteo is like a hood party. It's like a party in the hood. It's just like, you know, a couple speakers. Like you're just singing for like people on the block.
Yeah, on the block, yeah.
That's the type
Yeah.
of the parties that she
That
would.
was the performance that she
That's
done.
the performance she had done. She had never ever done anything outside of that. No club,
Right.
nothing formal, nothing.
Probably some of the hardest people to impress though in the hood. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that's still-
sure.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You have to earn your
Gotta be
stripes.
good,
Yeah,
man.
of course. But the first real stage where she performed at
It's Tiny Desk.
was Tiny Desk. The first time she was in the US, the first time she performed outside of her hood, the first time she was on a real stage was Tiny Desk.
How did you feel comfortable to put her on there and know that she was gonna body it?
Because I told Sony, you need to hire the guys from Coast City. You need to hire them.
Who are
And
they?
they need to, Danny Flores and Jean Rodriguez. I'm like, you need to hire them to like MD this. They're going to put together a band.
Oh, the guys that you won the Grammys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nominated.
Nominated.
So, yeah. And I was like, they're the best in the game. You need to call them no matter what the budget is. Just, I'll work with them. Like, they're the homies. They're
yeah.
my brothers. I love them for life. I was like, you call them. They're going to put the band together. They're going to MD this.
Wow.
And they listened to me.
Sick.
And I mean, when Ebro Darden started talking about Jake Noah, I was like, oh my God. So it just snowballed after that.
Right.
After that, it was just like New York Times, Rolling Stone, Billboard. I got colors for her.
Are they reaching out to you, these publications? Or are you putting it into them? They now know?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I shot it over to Ebro because I knew he would love her.
You fuck with it for sure.
And he did. Boom. And then it was like on the radar. Colors, like I got her everything.
Sick.
Everything. And Sony at one point was like, well, I mean, I'm scared because you've gotten her everything. Like, what's next? And
Right.
I'm like, hey, there's a lot left. There's covers, there's Fashion Week, there's all these things, right?
Yeah.
So the week after her Tiny Desk dropped, which went viral, she got nominated for a Latin Grammy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
It was insane. It was insane.
How important is it that she's also in it, making sure that she's delivering her best? For the artist,
So
period.
important.
Yeah.
So important. I mean, they rehearsed for like 2 weeks for hours every day.
Really? She wanted it.
She got on there and I was bawling, like crying. She did it and it was flawless. Like flawless. I was just so impressed with her. I just, it's really, really, really rare to see like an 18-year-old kid with that much confidence. She just got in there. Everyone was like looking at me like, where did she come from?
Where'd she come from?
What is this phenomenon?
Because it's so new. Because she was so new.
And she wasn't nervous, you know. She just killed it. Like it was just like there's no other path for this young girl except this.
All right, folks. I hope you're enjoying this convo. There is a ton of value that you can extract from it. And speaking of which, if you're an artist or manager watching this and you want to get more in-depth strategies regarding your career, then my one-on-one consultations could be for you. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your career. Now, if you're not familiar with me, if you don't know, I have over 16 years of experience working with artists like Jesse Reyes and Eminem, to managers like Troy Carter and Tyler Henry, to working with brands like Nike or the Toronto Raptors. I have deep knowledge in many areas of the music business that can help you map out your next moves. Whether that's helping with your personal brand or creating a marketing plan or building out your content strategies that actually provides results, or simply navigating the music industry to whatever is most relevant to where you're at, I want to help. You can now book a one-on-one consultation session for a fee with me through my Calendly. You can find the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the pod.
And now, so when you get the Tiny Desk, are you sitting there talking to her and her manager, and are you saying, these are the things that we should be going after this, if this goes how it should go?
Yeah, of course. You always have an idea of like what you want to do.
Yeah.
There is never a guarantee that a Tiny Desk is going to change your career.
Totally.
But it has for a handful of my clients.
Okay, so tell me, how does the whole Tiny Desk thing work? If somebody wants to get on Tiny Desk, how does that happen?
Basically, you pitch to the producers of the show.
Yep.
And if they like it, they like it. There's no science behind it.
No.
There's no favoritism. Everyone thinks I have like stocks.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
NPR.
yeah.
It's not. I just have really good
No,
artists.
but if you're, but I mean, like, okay, Loren, if you're going in there and be like, yo, trust me, you need to.
But you got to earn that trust.
Right.
Because I got good taste.
Right. Yeah. But,
I mean, I do. I work with really fly fucking artists.
But this is the thing, though, right? So when you're saying some of your artists got pissed off, like jokingly, I'm sure they're not. You know what I mean? But like,
it's not pissed, but it's
I know,
like,
it's just like, well,
how did she get before me?
Right.
And I'm over here like selling, like auditoriums and like arenas, and I'm just like, it's not about that.
So what is it about in that situation? When
So
like
I can't answer for them because they
it's
like
their
what they
decision
like.
at the end of the day.
It's their decision.
Right. That's what
I pitch. I'm like, these are my priorities for this year.
Yeah.
These are the artists that, my priorities, meaning like you need to do Tiny Desk at the right time, right? There's also artists who are at the beginning of their career, but a Tiny Desk is like, let's do it now, who cares? But there's artists also that are like, wait, it's not the right time. So I think, you know what I mean? Because, okay, when you get an artist who could rap as fast as like Jay Noah,
Yeah.
she raps as, she could like she did a word count and she could go as fast as Eminem and almost as fast as Busta, if not at the same speed. Like it's a phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
When you have something like that in your hands, you need to just get it out to the world ASAP. Everything else is more of a strategy.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, we do this first, Then when we have like, like the buzz and we have everyone looking at us, then we go for the Tiny Desk, right? Because if you do it too early, sometimes it doesn't work.
It doesn't have the same impact.
It doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah.
But with her, it was different. She's like a rare case.
That made her in many ways.
Completely made her.
Yeah.
Completely. It changed her life. It did the same thing for Catriel and Paco, Amoroso.
Okay.
They had the biggest Tiny Desk of 2024.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So it just depends on who the artist is, where
It
they're
really
on their
just
journey.
depends. No one thought that was going to happen with Catriel and Paco, Amoroso.
Mm-hmm.
With Jay Noah, I said it. I'm like, we're going viral. I know it. I feel it. I was there. I was like shook.
You just know when you're there in the moment. You know it's something.
I mean,
So
like
true,
her A&R was crying. I was crying. Like everybody in NPR was like, "What did we just experience?"
That's cool.
You know what I mean? There's some artists that are like that. Like there's some artists that have that. I don't know. It's just hard to explain.
It is hard to explain, but
Yeah.
when you see it, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you see it, you
course.
know that this person is special.
It's special. Yeah, of course.
I be thinking about this a lot, of like how a lot of artists in today's day and age feel like it's really hard to get on. And in my eyes,
Get on.
global stage, just get on, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The make believe get on.
Yeah.
Get on. And I'm of the belief that great artists are great artists no matter what era. If it was this era, or if it was the era of the 90s, the 2000s, they were going to be a superstar or a star.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that, like when it comes to so many artists, and I think that it's disillusioned a lot of artists who think because they can put music on streaming platforms that they have the opportunity to be great.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes almost like they feel like they are indebted to actually have the success. And I'm like, it takes so much more. Like, there's luck involved in this.
100%. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, you gotta be lucky. Like, those
have to
gifts
be
gotta come
lucky.
from somewhere.
Yeah.
You gotta work hard. You gotta, have good strategy, good people in your corner.
Right.
It's not meant for everybody.
And there's artists who have none of that and don't even have talent and make it.
How does that work?
I don't know. I think those are just like cultural phenomenons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had this debate about many rappers
Okay,
and
what's the debate?
like they're trash. Why do they have a career?
Right.
And I just think that there's like cultural phenomenons, you know?
Yeah. I think though, just for the rappers from our generation, they're different.
Well, I mean, okay, but For instance, like
they're
I did
spitters. They're like, you know, I don't see like spitters anymore in this new generation.
there's a lot of great artists in our generation who are real, who really have bars, who write, who are incredible. I think so. But we see a different type of rapper now that's more
It's more
like,
melodic.
it's more melodic, it's more of the mumble rap shit.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. But
Yeah.
there's still,
it's
I
a
mean,
vibe. Like,
yeah.
it's hitting the youth, right?
Sure. Who am I to judge, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up on Two Life Crew. I can't even imagine if I would ever have kids. I mean, like, what did you grow up listening to, Mom? And I'm just like, pop that. You know, welcome to the fuck shop. Like, that's what I grew up listening
That's what
to.
I grew up listening to.
I'm from Miami, you know
In
what I mean?
Miami. Yeah, exactly.
Whew, like Uncle Al, like, you know, just, yeah.
Why
I mean,
what were we gonna say?
that I'm just like, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Sexy Red is raunchy. And I'm just like, she is, but do you know
Been
about,
listening to
you
this
know
for
about
years.
Uncle Luke?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right,
I don't
right.
think there was anybody more raunchy than
That-
Two Life Crew who's ever existed.
I remember like back in the day, what was it they were trying to like? Isn't
They
he?
got banned.
They got banned.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And then they
performance.
wrote a song about the mayor. And they're like, fuck Martinez, fuck Martinez. They took their case to the Supreme Court.
That's right.
Yes.
right,
It was
that's
this
right.
whole thing.
It was a big deal.
And then they wrote a song called Banned in the USA.
And that
they-
was where the Supreme Court decided that you can't use the lyrics against the artist. That
Yes.
Right.
It was like,
It was a big deal.
It was a huge deal. It was
Yeah.
a huge deal.
Did you always know that you wanted to get into the music business?
No.
Okay.
No, I got in it by mistake.
By mistake.
I mean, sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Like so a friend of mine in high school, her ex started a label with his friends while they were in college. He was like really into hip hop. I believe her ex was Filipino, and him and all his friends, like they were like big hip hop heads, right? And they started a label, and she was with him through this whole entire like adventure of starting a label and like whatever. So she already had like a lot of knowledge, and she was reading about it. And then she was going to Loyola, and I was up in Boston. So then we came back to Miami. We moved back to Miami, and then one day we saw each other out and about. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. You know, the last time I saw you, your mom was on top of you beating the shit out of you because you were being a disrespectful bitch. True story. I'll never forget that in my life. She tried to talk shit to her mom. Her mom body slammed her, got on top of her and punched the shit out of her. That's when I had to call my mom and say, Mom, I'm not sleeping over her house because her mom's beating the shit out of her. You got to come pick me up.
Wow.
And my mom said she probably deserved it. Whew. Anyway, so we met.
That was the last time y'all seen each other until then.
Yep. And so we reconnected, and she was like, I started this label. She's sad, just like me, super passionate. She was like, I started this label with my ex and da-da-da-da-da. And I want to do, and a shout out to her. Shout out to Lourdes Avalia, Luli. So she was the one who inspired me to start in the business. And she was the one who had the idea of doing an independent label to sign only female talent, owned and operated by women. That idea came from her. I still do that today. So she's the one that planted that seed. And she sold me this whole idea. And I was going to study forensic psychology, and I was going to go to John Jay School of Criminal Justice. Yeah, I study psychology, which serves a purpose in this industry.
Yes, absolutely.
But she sold me this little dream, and I changed careers. I was like, all right, let me get a master's in business and then figure out what I'm going to do. I'm not sure yet. And I loved it, and she sold it to me, and my dad was so pissed. He was like, I can't believe I spent money on your education, and now you want to go into music where everybody's like sex and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dad has a story about in music. That's whatever.
It does? Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, we started a label. We signed this female rapper. Long story short, she got signed to Sony, and that's how I ended up working in Sony.
As product manager.
Yeah.
You were there for 3 years.
I was there for 4.
4 years.
From 2005 through 2009.
What was that like working in the corporate building?
It
was a different era. That was the era when everything was going to shit. right?
It was
Just
right before, yeah.
right
Like
before.
like 2007 is when everything just tanked.
Yeah, and so you were there from
2005.
to 2008.
Yeah, I started my record label in 2001.
Wow.
Yeah. In 2003, we signed this. No, in 2002, we signed this female rapper. She was like a Lauryn Hill. She rapped in English and Spanish. She was super dope. Like all the top DJs in Miami knew who she was. She had a track with Swiss Beats. Like she was in this group called the Dead Beats, and like they had their little buzz and stuff. And that's when I started meeting like DJ EFN, you know, who has
Wow.
with Drink Champ. Me and E go way back. Yeah. So it was like this little Miami scene, and I started meeting everybody. And I was out 4 nights a week, working as the receptionist in my dad's business. And he fired me because I would like come home like 3, 4 in the morning after I was out every night, like just networking.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we signed this girl. She got signed to like a Wu-Tang type of project called Sindicato at Sony. It was 9 artists. She was the only female. That shit flopped. I mean, it was a disaster from the beginning. And then a year, I said, you know what? I'm out of the music business. This is too chaotic. Like, I lost a lot of money. Yeah. I left for a year. I went into advertising. I never realized I was a creative because my parents didn't nurture that.
Okay.
You know, Latino parents, they're like, you got to do something that brings money and stable. They're like, creative, what the hell's that? Like, nobody has time for that. Like, you know, creative people don't make money.
Right. Well, I was fortunate with my household, my home. My parents were okay with that. They always knew that I liked film. Yeah. I used to draw a lot as a kid as well. So my mom was just more so like, as long as he's not outside just causing shit and havoc, and he's like, I know where he is, and he's like, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
She couldn't stop me from doing the latter in the later years. She tried her best, but they were always cool with it, you know, with the
that's
me
good.
picking up cameras and doing the film thing. I think because my dad loved movies as well. So.
Well, that's progressive because it's usually not like that.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, my parents were like, get the fuck
What
out
are
of
you
here.
doing? Yeah.
No. So, so where was I? So
just you were talking about how you lost some money in.
I lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Lourdes and I broke up because it's a breakup when you like separate from your like partner in business. The artist and I were on bad terms. She was on bad terms with Sony. I was just like, you know what? This world is so chaotic.
It is chaos.
And I started in hip hop, and there wasn't a lot of women in it. Super chaotic. I mean, not that the Latin industry in 2005 when I was working reggaeton. I mean, I got threatened.
Those are early days.
Yeah. I got threatened. Like, you know, you watch your back if you come to Puerto Rico, like crazy shit. Like shit that like if that would happen now, like I would get lawyered up and I make a lot of money.
Right.
But back then it was like the level of like harassment and disrespect was crazy on another level.
Not too long ago either. I mean, like, you know.
Oh, and the Me Too movement never hit the Latin industry, but that's another conversation on another podcast for another time. So, I got out, and like a year later, the head of marketing called me and said, listen, we're starting an urban label. You know about urban. I told you I would give you a job one day. I told you you would come work for me. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm working in like, you know, an ad agency. I don't know if I want to go back into music. And he's like, no, you have to come back. I got you a job. You're going to like run the urban department with me. Come to Sony. And I went. They matched my salary. They paid me a little more. And I started working there. And it was insane and chaotic because I had no experience ever working in a label at all. I had never even done an internship. All I knew was from like, you know, being in the street and learning from Lourdes and reading books and just being out and about. But I had known about reggaeton since '97 because when I used to be a hostess in TGI Fridays.
Okay.
And all my homies were the waiters and the guys who worked in the kitchen. They were all my homies, and they were all from Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay, so they put you on.
And I grew up listening to dancehall.
Yeah.
And so dancehall is like my favorite genre. And especially Miami, we used to have like we used to get dancehall like, you know, straight from Jamaica.
Yeah.
So I would listen to it and I'm like, is that is that dancehall in Spanish? And they're like, Mami, eso es reggaeton. And I was like, what's reggaeton? And they're like, reggaeton, mami.
Reggaeton.
And I was like, what? Because I had only heard El General. And El General, I mean, I didn't even know what genre that was when I was young. Right? Remember El General from Panama?
No.
Tu pum pum, mami, mami.
Oh,
mami.
yeah. Yes.
I mean, reggaeton really comes from Panama.
Okay.
There's a lot of debate, and a lot of people are going to crucify me for that, but y'all need to get over it. It comes from Jamaica first, actually. That's the root of it.
Yeah.
Jamaica, and then all
There's
these...
no debating that.
No, and all these Jamaicans went to go work in the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
And they brought it over, and then it was reggaeton en español. And the Puerto Ricans got put onto it, and then they were like, it's reggaeton. And I'm like, cabrón, it all comes from Jamaica, so let's give Jamaicans credit, and then let's give Panamanians the credit, because it really started there, but whatever. My friends are going to crucify me for this. But
I mean, I think what happened was in PR, it's just, it made its wave over to North America. Like, it became massive.
Because the diaspora is much bigger of Puerto Ricans in the United States than Panamanians.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, New Yorkers have been in New York for, what, 4 generations?
Yeah.
So, you of course. Anyways, so I heard reggaeton in 97, and I was like, yo, I love this shit. Like, this. And then in 2005, I rediscovered. Remember, I grew up, no social media. So if it wasn't playing on the radio or it wasn't on mixtapes, you know, who could, like, I used to buy all his mixtapes. If it wasn't on a mixtape or it wasn't on the radio or pirate stations, there was no way I could,
you could hear it.
No, or Napster. Somehow I didn't download it in Napster, but I had to know about it in order to download it. So I rediscovered.
You definitely had to be put on.
Right.
Yeah.
I rediscovered reggaeton in 2005, and I was like, oh, I know this. This is reggaeton. I've been known about this.
Crazy.
And it was chaotic because I didn't really know anything about my job as a product manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to learn how to do so many things in such short time. So I was working a lot of hours.
So the people that don't know, and I'm assuming it was back then as well, is like product managers basically wrangling the entire building to ensure that the project is being delivered on time and everybody is in sync with each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like promo, A&R, marketing.
You're doing the marketing.
Oh, you are doing
You're doing the marketing. You're doing the strategy.
Yeah.
You're the liaison between every department.
Yes.
Between radio, between the DSPs now, before it was sales.
Sales, yes.
Like the brand team.
New media must have been back then.
Right,
Yeah.
Now the social media team. So you're at the center of the project as a product manager, and you're just making sure that everybody's doing their job.
Yeah.
And like you're talking to the artist management every single day. So
you're getting a crash course in this.
I'm getting a crash course in this at a major label, right? And but what I brought to the table was that when I got to Sony, a lot of the marketing that of my experience was in hip hop. So when I came in, I didn't see the difference between working hip hop and working urban, Latin urban. I was like, this is the same culture. So I'm like, you guys don't have street teams? And they're like, what's a street team? And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, where's your DJ database? How do you service like music? And they're like, we don't have one. So I had to create. They used to call me the DJ queen. I had to create a DJ database from scratch.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't have one. So I'm like, how do you get club DJs to play your shit?
Play your music, yeah.
Because there's a difference. Like artists who get worked on the radio, fine. Eventually radio will seep into the clubs, but how about the other ones that don't have budget for radio? So I'm like, what about mixtapes? Like there's a lot of DJs in the Latin urban industry started to mimic what the hip hop DJs were doing. And they were starting to do their own mixtapes.
Yep.
And I'm like, what about those? We're not servicing them. So I started building all of that. And I brought my skill set and my knowledge from hip hop and implemented it into
Let me ask you a question about that, because I've always been curious about it. How did the labels, artists would be signed to labels, but they would still put out these mixtapes back then, and the labels would kind of just let it fly. So you know how you're saying, like, are we servicing the DJs that are doing the mixtapes? Because The only person that was making the money is the DJ that was selling the mixtape,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how is that happening? How are you allowing them to
Well,
give the
because
records and do these freestyles and all that, and the label kind of just looked the other way?
Because at that moment, I mean, okay, so for instance, like when YouTube came up,
Yeah.
one of the things that I was doing in 2009 was my intern and I every morning would go through all the projects that I had, go on YouTube, Google, type in their name, search their names. I'm like Google, like type in their name and look at all the videos that were non-official, posted by fans and posted by other people that had their music, copy the link onto a document and send it into YouTube so they could take down the videos.
Mm.
At this stage, the labels weren't making money off that. The publishers, I know the labels were making money off of the music, but the publishers weren't. So then there was that whole fight,
Mm-hmm.
right? They just weren't. I don't even know if ISRC codes existed back then. I don't even know if they had a way to track the music. So I think they just saw it as like marketing and promotion, and like the fans will, if a fan hears this song on this big DJ's mixtape, then that will lead them to discover the artist and buy the album.
This is a whole different time
It's
because
a whole different era.
Unless like you were like a super fan of the artist, you weren't even fucking buying the album that came out as like on the label. Like the official album, it was rare. You were always looking out for the mixtapes.
Right.
Like I remember when the locks were out, but it was D Block. They were going super hard.
Yeah.
But I don't remember like a D Block album being super hot. I remember the albums, the mixtapes being super hot. I mean, there was like a Wadio mixtape that, what's his name? Oh my God. Chic Lush. Like, these were crazy.
Yeah.
But you would never go and grab the albums. Only one would be like Jada. I guess Styles P, Gangster and the Gentleman as well. But
yeah.
But yeah, I remember mixtapes was just like way more impactful.
Well, because when DJ Clue would drop a mixtape, for instance, or Who Kid or whatever.
Yeah, K Slay.
Yeah, K Slay. It was like $5.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And it had the hottest records of that month.
Yeah.
So like, $5.
Yeah.
But then, you had to buy like an album that was like 17,
That's
18 bucks.
That's true.
Full of fillers.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
when everybody was like, yo, why am I paying $18 for an album with 17 tracks full of fillers?
When I got a mixtape for $5.
When I got a mixtape for $5 with the bangers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was a lot of like, I don't think the technology was there to actually even capitalize on that. You know what I mean? I don't even know if like the performing rights organizations were able to even had the technology to even
It's a good question.
Right. It is a good question. I wonder when that started.
Yeah, it's a good question. When the PRs could track all that stuff.
When they could track all that. You had to have an ISRC code.
Right.
I don't even know when ISRC codes came about.
I mean, as far as I know, that like we were dealing with ISRC codes at Mad Rock when I had the production company back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 2005.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't even
as far
know.
as I've been in the business, there was ISRC codes, so I wouldn't know.
Right.
In my mind, they've been there forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
I
interesting.
don't know. Yeah.
So when you left Sony after that time, and then you started Digital Girl?
Yes.
And it was social media.
It was a social media marketing company.
How are you thinking of social media in 2009? That's so ahead of its time. What made you go into that direction?
There was only one company that existed that we knew of that we hired to do social media marketing, and they did not deliver. Like the results, like it was just, they were shit.
While you were at Sony?
While I was at Sony.
Oh, so you saw.
So we started, that's when they started sprouting up, right? So I was like, okay, I decided to leave Sony because I felt like I wasn't going to grow, and the industry had tanked, and they froze our salaries, and they took away my bonus, and it was just like a really hard time. I survived 3 layoffs in Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's crazy.
yeah, 3. And I was like, all right, it's time for me to go, and I want to get out of Miami. I was partying way too much. So I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And I was like,
yo,
yeah,
the worst place to party, but the best place to party.
Anyways, I left that life behind.
Me too. Me too. Long time ago.
Long time ago. But I was just like, okay, what can I do? What there's a void in the industry, and it's the social media marketing stuff. let me start a company.
That's crazy that you were thinking about that in
Yeah.
2009, because I don't think people were thinking about that back then.
They weren't.
So what were you doing in that time? What was the
So it was like, doing contests like with merch and like, it was like marketing.
mostly
like,
Facebook?
It was like Facebook. It was like online, like a lot of stuff online. And like, remember when there were like forums, like almost like
Yes.
Reddit.
Yeah, of course.
They were huge.
Yeah.
Like,
Forums were a big deal.
promoting artists on forums. Like,
No way.
yeah. It was just like a lot of that stuff. And, just like doing stuff with like websites and like, little strategies for MySpace. And then when Facebook started to open up, doing stuff for Facebook. So a lot of that, I didn't know what I was doing. Real talk. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Okay.
So, I think people were attracted to the innovation of it. Like they were like, oh yeah, social media marketing. Yeah, we need to do that. But I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
And also, when I was at Sony, I worked the Bad Bunny of my era. Calle 13.
Right. Oh shit. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I was with them for 10 years.
Yeah.
4 in Sony, 6 out of Sony.
With Digital Girl.
With Digital Girl, the whole 6 years. I was with Calle since the first single. My first day at Sony, I worked on the first single, Se Vale Todo.
Wow.
From the first day. Yeah.
No way.
So, I mean, we were doing amazing shit. I mean, we were printing condoms in 2005. That's el Atrévete. Okay? That's fucking edgy.
Yeah, very.
For 2005, like, those were like our ideas that I was just like, what if we print condoms? That's el Atrévete. I'm sure a lot of people had kids because of those condoms. I'm sure those condoms weren't the best quality promotional condoms. That's what I mean. Let me explain why people had kids using condoms.
I was like, what?
Because we bought those condoms in bulk.
I was gonna let that one roll. I was like, all right, where's this going?
Yeah, when you buy condoms in bulk for promo,
Yeah.
I don't think they're very sturdy.
They're not that sturdy.
So I'm sure a lot of people got pregnant using the Atrévete promotional condoms.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
So you were doing that. Okay, so for 10 years you were with them. Wow.
So then they left with me.
Yeah.
Not left with me, sorry. They when I left, they automatically hired me. They're like, you got to stay on the team. So, we used to just like come up with ideas on things to do online and like whatever. Then it changed around, I don't know, I want to say like 2012, 13.
Mm-hmm,
Then it started becoming about like, oh, you got to know about SEO and Google Analytics and data. And I was like, ew, what the fuck is that? Right? So then all this stuff started changing, and it started changing really fast. And that's when we started adding the publicity to the company. We added it like 3 years later. Because my former business partner, shout out to Rocio Gutierrez, she was my partner at Digital Girl. And I was just like, all right, we got to start doing PR because this is moving into another direction. And unless we go to school and learn, and like, I don't like any of that stuff.
You didn't like it.
Oh,
Wasn't
God,
for
no. The analytics and SEOs and like,
Yeah.
I was like, ew, numbers? Don't talk to me about numbers.
Right.
So then we started doing PR, and then we started building, and then the social media marketing changed, and we lost a lot of our big clients because of that.
But you worked with like an incredible amount of big clients.
Yeah.
Like who are some of those clients that, name some of them?
Shakira.
Yeah.
We worked Maná. We worked on 2 tours of Maná. We worked 2 Aventura tours. We worked Juan Luis Guerra. We worked one of his albums. A.B. Quintanilla, Belinda. I mean,
Wow.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked so many big artists.
On the digital side.
On the digital side. Calle 13.
Calle 13. So when you lost some of those clients when it went to the more SEO data side of things, and you started to pivot into PR.
Into PR, yeah.
Okay, so how come you felt like that was the right direction for you to go in?
Because Rocio used to do PR for Sony. She used to be the West Coast. She used to handle all the West Coast.
Okay.
So she was already a publicist.
Got you.
So she taught me about PR. I already had some basic knowledge, obviously, because in Sony, you're a product manager. You're every day talking to your PR. team, but she was natural for her, and it was like I was like, okay, yeah, I could do publicity. I like it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Did you fall in love with it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did, because I hate the industry. And I'm still doing this shit.
That's amazing.
I do. I fucking hate this industry. I absolutely hate it. There's like 5 good people. They're all my friends. The 5 good people in this industry, okay, there's like 15 of them. They're all my friends. Everyone else,
It's a fucking
it's a really tough
it's a
industry.
tough business.
Full of sharks and full of shallow ass people and full of people who only want to be close to you when you're succeeding.
100%. That's a
You
fact.
know?
Yep.
And, you know, I tell that to a lot of my friends who are young, who work in like big companies like Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, or NPR, or like whatever. And I'm just like, you have a machine behind you, and people need things from you. The day that they don't need anything from you, you're going to know exactly who your friends are in this business.
Yeah, 100%.
Because when Rocio and I split, and Digital Girl, like, we split, and like everything kind of went to shit because we lost all of our big clients and we were only working indie artists. That was like 2016 when we split. In 2017, I started Guerrera under another name called LCMPR, because which are my initials, but because I was gonna leave the music industry.
Oh, that's where it's from.
Yeah, I've tried to leave this
I've seen
business
that in
like
the
3 times.
invoices.
I've tried to leave this business like 3
She's
times.
pulling you back in.
I'm in a cult. We're in a cult. Sorry to break it to you, but yeah, I'm in a cult. And yeah, I have tried to leave and I have not been successful.
Yeah. No, but you had when you left, when Digital Girl went in separate ways, there was something I was gonna ask you, and going back to the part where it's full of shallow people.
Yeah.
It happened to me, when I stepped away from Jesse's business, where it was like those same people who were picking up my phone calls were not picking up my calls anymore. And if they were, it'd take a couple of rings, a few text messages. But when I was working with her, I could get anybody on the line.
Yeah.
Things have changed a little bit now,
right?
Since the podcast. But you know what? I knew that was going to happen. So whenever there's a manager that, even if I'm not like friends or good friends with those people, I still reach out to them, because if they separate from their artists, because I know what that was like.
You know what that feels like.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And so, and I empathize, and I know what they're going through.
Yep.
And it sucks, but it's also like, but it seems like everybody kind of has to go through that in this business. Everyone goes through it in this business, one or another, for the most part.
I think so.
It seems like.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you're talking about those younger people at Spotify, those younger people at Apple. That happens as well too. And the most important part of that is, when you're in those positions, don't think you're fucking God. Don't think you're the shit. You're only the shit because you got that big corporation behind you. That's the only reason that you can feel that type of way. Because once you don't work there anymore, or you get a pink slip, all of a sudden, the people that you treated like shit, trust me, they're not going to help you out. So make sure that you always understand who you are in this business, because it could change for you like that, especially when especially when you're not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working in an organization that you're an employee.
Yeah.
When you are working with artists as well, and now you're doing, so it was your initials, and then it became Guerrera.
It was only my initials because I'm all about branding. Like, I'm all about like, it's like Digital Girl. The tagline was living in a digital world, and it was like, the Madonna, like, material girl living in a material world, and the logo was like inspired by like the Jetsons, and it had this whole thing. Like, it was beautiful. And I think my logo now is beautiful. And so I've always been very much about like aesthetic and brand and stuff like that. So LCMPR was like me just being like sloppy and just opening up a company so I could just like keep getting paid from like the couple clients I had that stayed with me. And then I was like, I'm transitioning out. I want to go into academia and I want to go into like the health industry. I got certified for like holistic health, some bullshit degree there. Because it was they took my money. And then I got pulled back.
So when did you start calling it Guerrera?
When did I start?
2017?
No. So I think it was like 2018.
2018?
I think so. I don't know.
So Guerrera means female warrior.
Yeah.
I love that it's tied into like a very personal relationship that you have with you in the business and the clients. And how does that show up with the clients that you work with?
Well, Guerrera is
Also-
personal because of my family.
Because of your family.
My
That's
family's history.
your family history. Incredible logo, by the way.
It is.
Flower with the grenade pin, like
It's beautiful.
super hard.
I know.
Yes.
I know. So a lot of people told me at first, like, oh, Guerrera is aggressive.
It's too aggressive. Yeah.
And
There's mostly men who told you that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And oh, people are not gonna be able to pronounce that. And I'm like, that's their fucking problem.
That's the problem.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, the logo has a grenade rose. And like I'm like, yeah, that represents me.
How so?
Because I'm a grenade and a rose. They real talk.
But you said it's very tied to your family history.
It's tied to
How
my
so?
family history because I am Palestinian and Cuban, also Colombian by culture. My dad was a political prisoner in Cuba. My grandparents left Palestine, were expelled from Palestine in 1948. They were part of the first Nakba. And I'm a daughter of refugees, of war refugees, of people who lived through revolution, of people who lost everything. And my existence is due to like wars and revolutions, which is crazy. So my existence is political. And everyone in my life has had to fight really hard, literally fight through wars and everything. And like when a lot of the Cubans left Cuba, my dad and my grandfather, they were farmers. They were just like, like living in Pinar del Rio and Consolación del Sur, that's where we're from. And they weren't the rich folks in La Habana. They weren't doctors. They weren't like my grandfather was a sergeant. And then he was like a veterinarian and a horticulturista. Like he did like he worked with like medicinal plants and stuff. And my dad was like in high school when the revolution happened, and like they stayed and fought for their country while everybody left. All the rich people left, and they
Right.
they were like, we're not leaving. We want to fight for our country. And so my family on both sides has had to fight to exist. My great grandfather was kidnapped in Palestine for 4 months. My aunt was killed in a car bomb. Purposefully, they put a car bomb. My family were politicians in Palestine. So my whole entire family on both sides has literally had to fight wars to exist.
So the name means a lot more than just a name.
Yeah.
So
And I
imagine-
don't and that's how I feel about being a woman in this industry. You have to fight so much harder to secure a place in this industry.
To-
Because it's a boys' club.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
You talk to me about that. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't.
It's a boys' club.
It's not that I know that it's a boys' club, but I never really operated that way.
I know you haven't.
You know what I mean?
I know you haven't, but it is.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at all the presidents of all the labels. I mean, how many women are there? Like 2?
I don't think there's any anymore.
Sylvia Rohn is not in Epic anymore?
At Epic, so it's Sony, but at Universal, I don't think there's any more women. Yeah.
I mean, how many successful female managers are there that are like,
There's Rebecca.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
In the Latin industry, there's Rebecca.
Yeah. There's Rebecca, and then
I'm saying
there's a-
like, it's disproportionately
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
who run this
Well, no, I
business.
have to think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
it's
about it.
crazy that you have
In
to think about
Canada,
it.
I mean, in Canada right now, there's a really good one. Her name is Lori Lee Butte. She's
Right,
amazing.
but like there's a really good one. You
yeah,
see what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a boys' club. Men are in most of the positions of power. I would say like 90% of the positions of power. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
but it's been super challenging.
Mhm.
Like back in the day when I was at Sony, I remember one of the artists I had, their manager, one day he called me and he was just like mad about something with Sony. He was always mad about something and he was a piece of shit. And he's like, "You're nothing but a secretary."
To
He's like,
you?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, "You're nothing but a secretary. You ain't shit in Sony. You don't move the needle. Tú no eres nadie. You're nobody." And I was like, "No."
Crazy.
I was like, "I'm nobody?" I'm like, "Your mom's nobody." Yeah, no, I went off on him. I went off on him that like everybody in the office went to my office because I was screaming at him. And I was like, "I'm nobody, motherfucker. I run your budget. You know what I'm saying? I control your budget. You
Mm.
know, I control your project." I'm like, "You think I'm nobody? I'll show you who the fuck I am." You know what I mean? And I just went off on him. Yeah, because I had grit. You know what I mean? Like I came.
Had.
Always have had. But I came from a family,
Fighters.
a world, a Miami, hip hop. Like I came from already equipped
Yeah.
to deal with all these street cats. You know what I'm saying? Like I got street in me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I already came equipped, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
And still till this day, I've worked with managers who are just like, "Oh, I need you to put this itinerary in my calendar, separate the PDF by days, and then mail it to me." And I'm like, "Sounds like that's something your assistant should do."
Right.
"Oh, I don't have an assistant." "Why don't you tell one of your assistants?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't have assistants. Those are my team members, my
Yeah.
teammates. And no, that's
That's
not
not
within
their,
the
that's,
scope of my work."
that's not their job either.
"Oh, well, other publicists do it." And I'm like, sounds like they like being in the service industry. This is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not waiting tables here. I waited tables for 2.5 years. I bust tables.
Yeah.
I was a food runner. I did service. This ain't it. This is, I'm providing you with a service, but it's not that type of service.
It's kind of beyond me and kind of crazy that men are talking that way to you, because I don't
It's insane.
and like I don't think of it like that at all. To me, it's just like comes down to like, does the person respect me? If they do, we get on and it's all good. And I do my best to be respectful. If they don't, I don't care who you are. It's go fuck yourself.
It's go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But like
But they're crazy
like
to talk to me like that because I'm like, you think I'm not gonna bark back at you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm like, why are you?
But you know
talking
what?
to me like that?
No. But even then, it's just to I don't know.
The audacity.
Yeah.
The audacity.
Because we always got along so great. Like I fuck with you heavy, like
Yeah,
for real. Like you're the
always.
homie, you're fam,
Yeah.
for real. So I'm like, I don't get it. Like it's
You
why
guys-
would you?
You guys are probably were the only and still to this day management team that I've never shit talked or that I've never gotten upset with or
Oh,
that I've
thank
never
you.
been like, how fucking disorganized. I bitch every day. It's like a hobby. It's like my
I appreciate
passion project.
that. I appreciate that.
I fucking bitch about everything and about everyone because people are so disorganized and all over the place. And I'm like, so yeah, I think also to add to that,
Maybe it's because we're Canadian.
yes, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Maybe.
Yes. Also, Latino men, they got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of deprogramming to do because, they're like, oh, well, other publicists do it. And I'm like, cool. Like, do you know what it means to be an independent woman? Do you know what it means to be a feminist? Maybe they didn't get the memo on that, but I'm like, we're equals here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm part of your team. I'm not assisting you.
Mm-hmm.
If I was, then I'd honor that.
Is that how a lot of the Latino men in the Spanish space, they operate that way, thinking
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the publicist is like an assistant?
We're like, I always say that we're like the maids of the industry, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so how
You
do
know how many plaques I should have on my wall?
Right.
I have one in 24 years. One.
Right.
That people have actually like just been like,
Yo, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
they're like, oh, you know how much plaques cost? And I'm like, that's it? You're reducing
Yeah.
it to just like a budget when you drop that on sneakers? Okay, cool, bet.
Right. Right.
You drop that on an outfit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
But you just won't spend that extra, $500-600, whatever it costs.
Uh-huh. But you have now, I mean, you have some amazing clients. You have
Yeah, I do.
You have Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse Reyes, Omar Paulo.
Yes.
Um
Alvaro Diaz. I have Danny Lux. I have Hera MX or MX. I have
right? Yeah.
yeah. I have a lot of artists and like a lot of developing artists too who are super dope.
And from the artists that you're working with now in the management teams,
Yeah.
I would hope that the experiences have gotten better just because
They've gotten better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of teams that I won't work with. So somebody called me the other day about an artist who's super dope. I think they're so dope.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, who are they signed to? Who's the management? When they said the manager's name, I said,
that's a real thing.
no, you're crazy. I will never work with that man. I will never work with that team.
How important?
And I said, tell the artist I said that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he should know. He should know who's
was
representing him.
The artist was the one that wanted to work with you.
The artist, their booking agent called me.
Got you.
And I said, do me a favor and tell the artist I said that. He should know how people perceive his manager.
How important is that to have a manager that is well respected?
Everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
If your manager is disrespectful or not liked, or everyone thinks that person's an asshole or like whatever, a lot of people will close doors on you. They literally will never give you an opportunity.
Do you think some of them get away with it if the artist is a superstar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course they do.
How hard is it though for that artist to become a superstar if their manager is a piece of shit?
I think sometimes, managers and labels don't dictate who becomes a superstar. People dictate.
Very true.
So if like the public, people, fans, like if they dictate that you're going to be a superstar, you're going to be a superstar, whether you have an asshole manager or not. So, there's a lot of really bad actors in this game.
How do you see Latin artists approach PR versus non-Latin artists approaching PR? What's the key differences?
It's the same. How they approach it?
Yeah.
I think it's the same. I think I will say that Latin artists, when they get to a certain level, for some reason, they feel like they need to go with a PR agency that's American.
American.
That's
really?
American. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Americans are like the final frontier. So fucking weird. And I said it the other day. I published the story and it hit a lot of people. Like a lot of people were like, they were like, oh wow, like I can relate to that, or like a lot of people identified with that.
What was the story?
That I respect Bad Bunny so much because he never left his publicist.
I saw that. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So she grew with him, and he brought everybody with him. He didn't feel like he got to stardom, and then all of a sudden, like, I have to hire like the biggest PR firm, that has like Lady Gaga or Rihanna or whoever, right?
So many artists get that confused.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy because it's like everyone talks about community and Latinos and unity. Unity is a fucking farce. Like, miss me with that shit. Like, all of a sudden you think that you could do better than me. You know what I mean? Because you're going with an American agency. It's like, that's the final frontier. And it's like, you're never going to be appreciated in the same way. And how could you let somebody tell your story who doesn't even speak your language?
That's a good point.
How can you trust somebody with your career and storytelling
Yeah.
if they don't even understand the music you make? They don't even understand the culture.
Right.
They probably been to Puerto Rico just one time for one of your shows, or to Colombia.
And then
They
now
don't know
all of a sudden they
shit
understand.
about our culture, and you're giving that person.
Yeah. Because they feel like they can get them the bigger looks.
No.
They feel like, no, that's what the artist feels like.
I know. We can get you the bigger looks.
Exactly.
It's going to happen.
Just be patient. Because when you go over there, to your point, you're not a priority.
No.
No
now
matter,
you're
like,
a small fish in a big pond.
Exactly. And on top of that, like you said, they don't even know about the culture. What are you thinking
That's
on that point?
wild.
And that's even, I don't even like, yeah, I guess you could put the blame on the artist as well, but that's also a mistake of the manager. That's what I'm saying. No, it's more the mistake of the manager than anybody else, because they're sitting here saying, if we did this over here, then we can go to the Met Gala or whatever it is. You know, it's like,
they do that to booking agents. They do that to publicists.
It happens to everybody.
It happens to
managers. It happens to managers as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what ends up happening? The story looks different. The identity looks different. The press the music starts to sound different. And a lot of times it doesn't work the way that it was once working.
Yeah. Well, look what happened to my favorite artist, who I got into a very public fight with.
When
he left my friend and went with this other manager who was one of the biggest managers, who did nothing for his career. And all the worst things to him happened under that manager, because that manager doesn't have, you know what I'm saying?
He's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
He's 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and also
also had
big artists.
Yeah.
But also, like, you claim to be so woke and you claim to be like whatever, and your artist was doing like some fuck shit and nobody called it out because you don't have the sensitivity.
Right.
You don't have the sensibility.
Yeah. How could you? You don't have the understanding of the world, right? Yeah. That's the challenging part about this whole thing here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I live pissed, but but I am funny, and I make people laugh, and I live between like rage and memes, and I complain, but it's almost like I just laugh about it at this point. I used to get really upset, and it used to really bother me when people weren't moving right or when they were disorganized or whatever, and now I'm like,
whatever.
Yeah, listen, like.
So how do you make sure that somebody like a Omar or a Jesse stays true to their identity or their authenticity as it starts to grow? Because it's always a challenge, right? Not for any reason except that you want to try and do your best to get this other level, and you want to do arenas, right, as an artist. Not everybody, but you have to really be able to thread that needle really well. So how are you looking at those strategies there?
So first, I don't think I deal with that too much, because I think that almost every artist I work with is really authentic and true to themselves. And I think that's beautiful. I stay telling artists to just like, you can't forget about the community. You got to do stuff for the community. I mean, you know that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what are we doing? Why don't we do this? Why don't we start a scholarship fund? Why don't we do, you know what I mean? So I always try to make sure that they give back in a way, and so I don't particularly have these conversations all the time with like artists themselves. Sometimes I do, sometimes I have it with management, but I think most of my artists are very humble, and they're very good people. You know, they're very authentic people. They move in an authentic way.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky to be surrounded by artists like that. But I think that sometimes, everyone's ambitious, right?
Yeah.
Including myself.
Yeah.
Right?
In this business especially, right? Yeah.
We all want to succeed. We all want to make more money. We all want to gain more accolades. We want to have more recognition. I mean, to say that you don't want that is bullshit.
Farce is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I know.
Yeah,
it's true.
We all want it. I mean,
Tell all you want.
Yeah, you asked me earlier, like, do you want to grow the company? And my answer was like, yeah. And I'm 26 years old.
Right. I thought 25.
I just turned 26.
Turned 36?
At my age, at 46 years old, I still have dreams, and I still have ambition, and I still want to do more things, right? And it's not for the money. It's just like there's things that I just want to accomplish.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So I think sometimes we get lost in that.
It's money for me.
Yeah.
It's the money for me. No,
I just want to fly business. Like I'm so tired of peasant class.
you don't fly business?
No, I don't fly business.
Never? Yeah, come on.
Not
you
never.
talking like you never flown business
I've
before.
flown
but
business, but I don't. Who
you
covers
flew
that?
peasant?
I fly peasant class.
That's crazy.
And it's annoying.
Oh my God. You're gonna make me. Me and Byron, oh my God. Once we first started getting, going to the festivals, getting the access to backstage and all that and the amenities and like a Lollapalooza, there's like massage tables and
Oh yeah, you're never going peasant class ever again.
Are you crazy?
Crazy.
Are you nuts? When we go into like general, like
Gross.
GA, me and Byron will walk through the
Yeah.
It's just
I went to Coachella in peasant class.
Saying this is gonna sound so crazy because people
No, I
watching
don't
this
care.
will be like,
I don't care.
people be like, yo, is that what it's like? No, yeah,
I'm mad humble, but when it comes to like festivals and shit,
No,
I'm
I
like,
refuse.
I refuse.
I refuse to go to a festival unless I can get all the fixins.
Sure.
Yeah.
At this point, I have to go in like a wheelchair with compression socks if I go GA. It's like, fuck that
Just,
shit.
It's too much, man.
No, it's too much. I can't handle it. No, I
We're
just
also
want to fly business
26.
class.
We're also
26.
26, so you know.
Yeah. I just want to fly business. That's all I want. Like all
on
the
a
time.
regular basis.
On a regular basis.
because you're flying a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It
my
beats you up, man.
clients pay for my expenses. And, since publicists were whatever, according to the industry, nobody's gonna pay for business. And business is expensive now.
I know, it's crazy.
Before it was just like $300 more. Now it's like $1,000 more.
No, it's like $1,600.
It's
sometimes
insane.
If you want to get the lay flats, it's like $2,000.
No, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, I have a lot of dreams and I'm still very ambitious, even despite, me being 46. Even though like that sounds old, but it's not.
It's not.
But I think that I have like a PR scholarship fund, and like we give free PR for like 3-4 months. I
Yep.
think it's like 3 or 4 months to young women of color,
Mm-hmm.
who may not have the resources. And like we have one scholarship winner right now. We got her on Remezcla, and we got her on like
Dope.
pretty big, yeah.
Nice.
And so I give back, I have a nonprofit
Yep.
and I do activism work, and
You were
Pro-
teaching for many years as well.
for 8 years.
Yeah.
I also go to protests and like looking like I'm a Chernobyl scientist and shit. A
Yep.
Chernobyl chic. Yeah, so I'm in these streets protesting, trying to do good. Also in the industry, I try to give back in that way, and I always encourage all my clients to give back. So I think most of the artists I work with come from like humble backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always just like, just remember that, you know what I mean? Like all these
You gotta remember
kids
where you came.
propped you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
They still propping you up because
Yeah.
without fans, you don't eat.
100%.
So-
Can't forget about them.
You can never forget about them. So I don't.
It's funny when artists actually be thinking, they be thinking sometimes when they're trying to get on, it's like, oh man, I just want to have all the fans in the world. But I'm like, yo, there's like, you got like 10 of them talking to you on Instagram on a regular basis that you don't even comment back to or say what's up.
Yeah,
Like, how are you going to get 100 fans if you don't even recognize the first 10 that are talking to you?
I know. I answer all my DMs. Not that I have that many
I
followers.
do my best. It's tough. But you do. I mean, a lot of people are trying to get to you. But
Yeah, and I talk to everybody because it really sucks not to feel unseen
Yeah.
and
100%.
to feel like you're nobody and that you have to prove yourself and all this shit. It sucks.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
tough. And you know what? This is gonna sound like fucking an ad right now, but I honestly I've done some consulting and I find it the most rewarding shit. But they're spending, it's not cheap to do it with me, right? So they're spending good money. So I kind of started thinking about it a little bit differently, where there's like incredibly talented people. They just don't have the network. They don't have the relationships. I had this one kid who I consulted for yesterday.
Hmm.
And he was like, he seemed a little bit down on his luck. And And then I started talking to him about his business, and then he started kind of telling me what his music is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in rock music. I hope I don't butcher it, but it's like rock music. And he started telling me his catalog makes $20,000 a month. And I said, bro,
You're making more money than
I
a lot of people I know.
I said, bro, what do you mean? It was it was like 15 to 20. I'm like, hold on. And he's like, yeah, but I don't know if it's like it's moving in the right direction. I'm like, dog.
It's definitely moving in the right direction.
And immediately, and I was like, even if I didn't hear that, I would do my best to help them and trying to provide a resource to them, show them things that they don't
Right.
have access to, right? But as soon as he started telling me that, I was like, okay, hold on a second. And then he shows me a song, and I should name the artist's name. I believe it's L.A. Leon or La Leon. I hope I don't butcher it. Sorry if I do. But he has a song called Serotonin that came out and is doing 1 million streams a month on Spotify alone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You're doing better than a lot of clients that I have that have a label situation.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's about putting it in perspective for people.
It is. And I think it's a lot of comparison, right? To other and that'll like kill you. So you don't have you don't have the gauge either to understand that.
Yeah.
So I started sharing my screen as I'm talking to him, and it's like, okay, who are some of your favorite artists? Or artists in your in the genre that you work with? And he showed me an artist, and then I was like, oh, the agent's my boy from Toronto.
Yeah.
I'll connect you guys.
Nice.
That goes a long way.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of kids they're trying to figure it out. It sucks to not be seen.
I know.
And so this is one of the main reasons why I started this platform, because there's a lot of artists that I feel like can use this. All the shit that we know about this music business, even though it's a lot of trash, but it's just like there's information that people don't have.
I know.
And so for you to go in the DMs and actually tell people like this is how it works is super important.
And I tell people like that they want to hire me. I'm like, don't hire me right now.
It's not worth it. What are you gonna do?
You're gonna spend your money.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna take your money.
Exactly. And what
I could be so rich.
I think that
if I was an asshole, I could be so rich.
Yeah, but that's why people like you and Dana are incredible. And
shout out to Dana from
shout out
this
Dana.
three.
Shout out Dana. That's the homie. I love her so much.
She's
amazing.
The best. She's amazing.
But you guys have honor and you have respect. You have ethics. But there's other publicists out there that take your $3,000, $4,000, say that they're doing fucking work for you and they don't do it.
Or give you excuses on why it's not working and they're not doing anything.
Yeah, whatever. Miss me with the TED Talk. I don't care. Just don't take my money.
I know.
I had to beg an artist that I was working with back in the day to be like, there's no point. Why are you going to spend $3,000? We can do more with social media than you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know.
Do you see much of a difference between PR strategy and digital strategy these days?
They're different. They're intertwined because, for example, a digital strategy can be all about influencers and like, oh, let's do a campaign and get 10 influencers who are not influencing anything. 10 influencers to do a stupid fucking TikTok with your song, and then like this one to create content to say like you're up next, and this one, right?
And you're handling. I mean, you're
not necessarily.
Okay.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I think PR is much more personal. PR is about storytelling. It's about narrative. It's very personal at the end of the day. Right? Especially if you have an artist like Jessie who really just like lays it out on the table in terms of like how she feels and like the writing and everything. It's like really personal. So it's different. It's intertwined, but it's different.
How many artists are you working with that are doing English versus Spanish?
Right now, the only 2 artists that I have that are singing mostly in English are
her and Omar?
Omar, Jessie, and Bar Lucid. She sings in both, but I think she sings more in English, I would say. And that's it.
Okay, so this camera right here is the camera that you appealed to Jessie to make a Spanish record.
Let me tell you something, Jess. When there was that maybe I'm going to do it, I may be ready, I downloaded a plan with festival dates, with a strategy. I downloaded an entire plan that was in like the floppy disk in this head of mine. Within the hour, I sent that in. I got so excited. I've been working with Jess for 6 years now.
Yeah.
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 2019.
Or 2018, 2019.
2019.
Yeah. The Novel was 2019. Yeah.
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 September of I started September 2019.
Yep.
Yeah, right before COVID. It was before
Yes.
COVID. Okay. I literally wrote an entire strategy that I have in my head. I've had in my head for years. So I'm tired of asking. I'm tired of asking, but when you're ready, we are gonna do such beautiful things.
And you know why she's asking though? I look at this camera over here, Jesse. Is because
this one or
this is my camera right here. That's
Okay.
your camera right there.
That's my camera.
Yeah. The only reason why I told Loren to say that is because she makes great music in Spanish.
I know.
It's incredible.
I know.
When you're working with the record labels, are you? Because it's interesting because I mean you're not internally in the record label, so like how often are you working with record labels?
So it depends, right? Whether they pay me.
What do you mean?
Some labels pay me, and sometimes the team, the manager will pay me themselves, or the artist will pay me. Right. So it really depends.
Yeah. Even if they're on a label.
I'm sorry?
Even if they're on a label.
Yes, even if they're on a label.
Yeah.
So it really depends. But I think it really depends on the label's involvement with the artist.
Mm-hmm. How is it to strategize like with the labels? Is it kind of...
Most labels don't have a strategy.
Okay.
Most people really just don't have a fucking strategy. I'm sorry, even like bigger artists.
You don't gotta apologize to me. I know.
It's frustrating. It's just like, I don't know.
Do you think... Go ahead.
And I don't get it. I just don't understand how you don't have like at least some sort of blueprint on like, this is what we're going to do in the next 5 years. This is what we're going to do with this album. And like, there's very few people who actually have like direction and a strategy. And I don't know. I don't move like that. You know what I mean? So for me, it's so foreign, but yeah.
No, I know from personal experience speaking to you, it was always very much like, this is the reason why we're going to go and do this. Look, this is going to lead into this. And
exactly.
You're talking like 4 to 6 months out, you know?
Of course.
And it's not, and again, what we're talking about is Jesse's projects. They're not Spanish speaking projects. They're English speaking, but you're still, because she's Latina, you're still promoting her in the Latin markets, making sure that she's getting the visibility and the looks. And obviously, like, you don't have her all year round, but when you have her for a certain amount of time, you make sure go.
Yeah.
I actually remember one time we had to cancel on you one day, but it's because she was in the studio. Do you remember that?
No, she went to the studio till 5 o'clock in the morning, and they nominated her for the Grammy for being human in public.
Everybody went to sleep at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah. And then at 8 a.m., my phone is ringing off the hook. But I don't know what's happening. I just I see like 6 missed calls. I'm like, fuck that. But the only person I talked to was at 5:30 in the morning was you. You're like, Loren. I sent you a text message.
You sent me a text. I
was
think
like I'm really sorry. We're going to have to cancel this press.
Yeah.
Mans didn't sleep.
I know.
And
I got it though. I mean, she did like a 12-hour day the first time I ever went on promo with you guys. She did like a 12-hour day.
That was that same? No, that wasn't that same.
It was that same trip in Miami.
Was that trip?
That was the first time we ever did promo together.
Crazy.
We had a 12-hour day the first day.
That's right.
She didn't complain. We ate it at Pollo Tropical in a gas station.
Yeah. Yeah. In a parking lot,
In a parking lot.
Yeah.
we got 30 minutes. And I thought, I'm like, she's going to send me to go fuck myself. No. She's going to be like, I'm not... Sorry, push all the interviews. I need to have my lunch. And rightfully so, because
I was the one, if anything, would be like, I need to sit down somewhere.
We had Pollo Tropical. She was like, yo, I love Pollo Tropical. And I'm just like, I love you. She was so humble. She was so cool.
Yeah.
It was like, I didn't know what to expect, because I've been in this business for such a long time. And I've worked with artists that I love.
As artists.
Yeah, as artists, I love them. And then I started working with them. And like when you buy a firecracker that doesn't work and you light it and it goes,
Oh my God.
It was that.
Mm.
It felt like defeating. I was just like, wow, I had a whole different idea about who you were, and I thought you were who you said you were and
Right,
what you
right.
project yourself to be, and you're an asshole. Wow.
Yeah.
So, whew, yeah. They always say what's that saying? Like,
Don't meet your idols.
don't meet your idols. Not that they were my idols. I don't have idols, but it's like I was a fan.
Yeah, of course.
Like I was a fan of Jesse, obviously. Fan.
Too.
But
And you remain a fan because you fuck with the human, right?
and I'm gonna say this, and I say this to everybody. She's one of the best humans in this business. She's one of the best artists I've ever met as a person.
Mm.
She's unbelievable.
Mm.
And she has treated me with such love and respect. And it's just like, it was much more than I ever thought. You know what I mean? Like, I was such a fan of hers because her music cut me so deeply. And it was like such a visceral reaction every time I would hear a song. She like gutted me, like her writing, like everything.
Yeah, her pen is crazy.
Her pen is crazy. And then when I met her and I was like, whoa, you're like really good person. You know what I mean? I'm like, and you treat everybody so fucking beautiful. Like, I'm like, I mean, she's just been, to me, she's been such a beautiful person. And I remember one time I told her about something that I was going through with my family, and she like called me to check up on me.
Mm.
Do you know how rare that is?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's always me checking up on everyone, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, how you? I was like, I can't believe she even remembered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think what it is as well with you is that we've always recognized how like you're just a real fucking person in a
Thank you.
business that are full of people that are
I know.
not that. Right?
I know.
You're genuine. I mean, you've been like that since day one.
I know. You guys all have too, man.
I just don't know how to operate any other way.
Me
And
either.
Byron,
Me either.
like
Byron's
all of us,
amazing.
like
I know.
Jermai, Bernie, you met Burnett, like
Yeah.
everybody on the team is like
Everybody, I know. It's really refreshing. It's really rare.
it's really rare.
It's really rare.
Honestly, I don't work on a team anymore, but like it's all still family.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like
I know. I've hung out with you guys so many times outside of like
Yes.
after you left. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Remember we ate roti in in Toronto when I
That's
went to her
right.
show.
You went to Pat's,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
That place
That's a
is
staple.
amazing.
Say it again. That place is a
Amazing. That
staple.
roti I ate was
It's fire. That's one of the spots.
fire.
But yeah, I mean, you're just a genuine person, and that's
Thank
why
you.
it's like it's easy to fuck with you because I don't know. It's just it's an easy connection
Yeah. But some people don't fuck with me because I think that
because of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think people who are not genuine are also are essentially scared to be around people who are, because people who are genuine, they can see right through you.
Mm,
And you know what I mean? Like, they don't want you to see right through them.
right.
I'm like, like I talk a lot of shit online, and I throw a lot of jabs, not at people directly, just in general.
It's like
I'm just
it's
like,
like uppercuts.
yeah.
It's like hooks and uppers.
You know what I mean?
It's just some kick off the
But it's not
shoulder.
directed at anybody in specifically.
Sure.
Like 95% of the time it's not,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes I'm like, yeah, fuck it. But and if I and I say it.
You know.
But I think that like bothers people because it makes them look inside themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when people look inside themselves, what they see is not good.
Right.
And they just want to operate on the surface level of like, I wear this and I wear that and I wear these brand names and I work with so-and-so. But I'm like, but you ain't shit as a human. I don't give a shit about what you're wearing. I don't give a shit about what car you're driving. I don't give a fuck about who you're around and who you work with. You don't have nothing of substance in here. To me, like, I'd rather hang out with people who fucking wear clothing from fucking thrift shops and ride a bicycle if they're fucking good people who are smart and debate ideas and bring stuff to the table and actually stimulate your fucking mind. But if all we're talking about is what the fuck, where you went shopping, like, yo, who are you? Who the fuck really are you? Like, clothes define you?
In this day and age,
It's wild.
on that note, in this day and age in the music business, like artists, I feel like the more authentic you are, the higher you're going to get into this business.
Yeah.
I feel like that because the audience believes you.
I know. And they can call
Because
your
the
shit
audience can see
right through you.
fucking through you.
I know.
Like all the whatever, how much money you got and all that, none of that shit matters.
Yeah.
Are you able to connect with people because you're coming from a genuine place?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
it was 25 years ago where you have these manufactured, like, especially here in North America. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't work
yeah.
that way, I don't think.
No, it doesn't anymore. This is a different generation. Like, if you go to a protest, you see like 16-year-old kids in high school, like protesting. You know what I was doing in high school? I was doing acid in high school. I was smoking joints wrapped in, I don't know, let me not say that, but I was smoking joints. I was doing acid. I was doing shrooms. I didn't give a shit about the world.
Yeah.
Watching the news was for old people. I wasn't involved.
Yeah,
Like
our generation.
I go to protests and I see young kids, man, like trying to fight for their freedom, trying to fight for their country.
Yeah.
To me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's real, dude. That's beautiful. And so when I get to share my time and work with an artist like Jessie, you know what I'm saying? That's really about her people. That's about, like, you know, like helping people. That's not afraid to go to a protest. That's not afraid to like show up and donate. And she's just, you know, like, it's just, yeah, man. I think a lot of people don't fuck with me because of that. Cause I, like, being around me is just like, a lot of people come up to me and they're like, I wish, you know, I wish I could do the stuff that you do and go to protests and do this and do that. And it's like,
Why
sometimes
don't you just do it? Anyway.
Girl.
Yeah, anyways.
Girl, you know, it's just like, so why don't you do it? And it's like, you know, like when you go to therapy and your therapist holds you accountable for something and you're like, but, and they're like, no, but nothing. It's this, right? And you're like, I feel like I like being real genuine and being like a real ass motherfucker like I am is sometimes not, like, people don't like it. A lot of people like it. A lot of people are like, I fuck with you.
Yeah.
You're a real one. But a lot of people are like,
but you're divisive in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, not trying to be, but it's just like,
I don't.
what you're saying is people either fuck with you or they don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
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 Do you think why? Do you think that makes a good publicist? Because I feel like the publicists that I've been around who are really dope, they have a very hard line of like what it is and what it isn't. Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying by that?
In what sense?
Their values.
Yeah.
You know, they have a very, like, for them, like the moral compass, and not to get into a moral conversation and moral values, because that's a messy conversation in my opinion in many ways. But I feel like the best publicists that I've been around, like a Dana.
Yeah.
They
I was
know
just thinking about it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah. They know what they stand for and what they don't.
Yeah.
Is that what is the quality that makes up a good publicist, you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Because I think when it comes down to it, we are going to be the ones to guide you in the best direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you stand on business, you're going to have a good mentor. Like, if your mentor or your publicist or your manager, like, they stand on business and they're a solid person, they're going to guide you to make the best decisions. When it's time to put out a statement about a social political issue and you got people on your team that are like good people and have integrity and a good moral compass, those are the people that are going to lead you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think, hell yeah.
Do you think that that it's important then for the publicists and the artists to have aligned values?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, like I wouldn't work. I and I don't. Oh fuck it, we'll get political. I wouldn't work with an artist who was a Trump supporter and supported the ICE raids that are currently being done to like hard-working immigrants
Mm-hmm.
who are the backbone of this country, not just in the economic sense, but culturally.
Mm-hmm.
Like immigrants contribute so much aside from being part of the workforce. Culturally, what makes this country beautiful, the only thing that makes this country beautiful, in my opinion, is the diversity.
Mm.
We're so rich in that. It's so beautiful, right? And if you support, like the law isn't always a guide for morality. Slavery was legal.
Mm.
Segregation was legal.
Mm-hmm.
Were those two things right? Of course not. So just because there's a law in place made by people who have historically oppressed brown and black folks doesn't mean that we should abide by that law. It doesn't mean we should respect it. So if you're so gung-ho about laws, right? Then what would you have done in the time of segregation? You would have been like, oh yeah, that's the law.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck your law.
Yeah.
And fuck you for thinking that.
Mm.
So if I had someone who supported that, I'd be like, that's the end of the road for me and you.
Mm.
You go find somebody who supports that.
Uh-huh.
I can't represent you. Like Nicky Jam and Anuel and Jay Quiles, how they were like, speaking at Trump's rallies. And then they turned around and they said Puerto Rico was an island of floating garbage. You know, that comedian that Trump brought on to one of his rallies. And I was like, that's your boy? This is the guy you're championing that threw paper towels at Puerto Rican people? That's your boy? I would never work with an artist who supported that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it comes down to that. Real talk.
Yeah.
I would never support an artist who like I would never support an artist who had like domestic violence. I would never support an artist who like disrespected women. Like, nah.
Yeah. It's not.
They have to be aligned with my values. And I'm not a Democrat. At this point, I'm an anarchist. I think we should all live in communes and govern ourselves. Let me make it clear. I am not a Democrat, right? I say fuck everybody. But there's a lot of my artists.
It's been clear from the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of my artists who supported Kamala. And I was vehemently opposed to her, to Biden, to Trump. I thought all the candidates.
Did you cut your ties with those artists?
No. I didn't, because I understood why they supported her, right? Even though like just for me, her stance on on Palestine, everything just did not agree with anything, right?
Right.
So but I understand, right? I understand why people are still whatever. Like I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, if supporting cruelty is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Or supporting somebody who's just like waging this terror campaign on our communities, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Democrats do it just behind our backs. I mean,
we were talking about this yesterday.
I mean, they just do it like they don't do a show about it, but they still do.
No, they still do. It's still show and pony.
I mean, Obama deported 3 million people.
Yeah, deported in chief.
Mm-hmm. But anyways,
on that note, and it's like I just remember my cousin hitting me when I was on the way to the airport. Like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. The news is saying LA's taking over, and it's like, right. So I was like, I don't know. It looks pretty sunny and fine where I'm driving right now. I'm like, it's like in a 2-block radius where it's going down right now.
They don't know what riots are. 1992, different.
That's what, I mean, I've seen the footage of all that stuff. That's different.
I
think that's where people get that kind of dazed and confused, they see that and they want to equate it to this, but it was a whole different.
No, it was a whole
different thing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I I wanted to ask, I'm trying to get back to this direction over
Yep, yep. I know. I went on a tangent, but I stand on business.
here. I know. When I called you, this, I knew that this was going to be the conversation.
I mean, I just did it a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
At the end of the day, what I really want to provide with this platform is the opportunity for the guests that come on here.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Have the conversation of who they are.
Yeah.
And hopefully it brings value to an audience.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
to bring the truth and the value, because we're in this business together.
Yeah.
And really it comes down to servicing the audience of who's watching this, who are trying to figure out this business.
Yeah.
So for somebody like you, who is speaking so candidly about your moral and your values and your politics, that resonates with certain people at home.
Yeah.
And some people it'll piss off.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, at least there are women who are trying to get into this business, who see someone like you and they'll be like, she looks like me, she sounds like me, she reminds me of me.
Right.
I can do this.
Right.
That's important.
That's all that I want.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who write to me and thank me every other day.
Of course.
And they're just like there's very few people in this business who are as outspoken. I don't know how to separate politics from my existence, because my whole existence is political, right?
Right.
So
it comes from a very different place with you.
Right. And also, we're living in a we're living in a time right now where everything is political. I mean, it always has been, but now more than ever, right?
Yeah.
And I think that for a lot of people, it's very scary to talk about how they feel.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're not as informed and they're learning. But I always get DMs like thanking me and saying like, and I also get hate DMs. I get those too. I used to just clap back, and now I just block.
Oh, it's not worth the time.
No, it's not worth it. I just block. I'm like, but I think, whoever this message gets to, that especially like women, like don't be scared. Like, what are you scared of? You know what? You might lose a client, so you know what I mean?
True.
Get another one. You know what I'm saying? You keep it moving. Like the world is starting to shift. There's starting to be like a shift on a global scale of consciousness. Of people just like deprogramming themselves, of people like the propaganda just melting. The ice is melting. The ice is melting. And I think there's going to be a big shift, and I don't know that we're going to be able to operate outside of that, because we've been consumed by all of these lies and these propaganda, and it affects everybody in every way. Like the way we see corporations, corporations, even in the music industry, like they do artists dirty,
Yeah.
Right. So I think
we could definitely speak on that.
There's a revolution happening where I think now there's so much more freedom, like bringing this back to the music industry. Like you don't need a label anymore.
Right.
Like you can make it on your own. There's all these things. Like before, we used to be programmed. Like the only way you can be a star is if you have a major label. Yeah, ask Bad Bunny if he has a major label. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so
he kind of does. In all fairness.
I mean, yes and no.
He's got a machine behind him over there. He's done a lot of the grassroots.
But
I won't take that away from Bad Bunny.
But he blew up before he had the machine.
100%.
Right.
But the machine is there.
Is there now?
Full force.
Yeah, but it wasn't there when you needed it.
I don't care if it's a distribution deal or not.
It is a distribution deal.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a distribution deal. I don't care. You can call it a distribution deal, but he's getting a ton of label services.
Sure.
But you're right. You're not.
But he got that after.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will say, back then when people felt like they needed labels, because if you did want to be a superstar,
well, you did need a
label.
Need a label. Yeah, but the internet they still changed felt everything. That right. But they still felt that. Some people still feel that now.
You know how many people feel that now.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. This is why I love that you say labels don't have strategy sometimes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Because I feel like And I was thinking about this a lot today too. It's just like artists still think, and I don't know why, they feel like as long as if they sign to the label, they're going to be good for the rest of their lives, or their career is going to be moving forward. And that's just not how it works.
That is not how it works.
One, you might think that that's what's going to happen, or two, you're lazy and you want them to do everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, no, you still have to work your fucking ass off in order to get in this business.
You gotta climb the ladder inside the label.
Yeah, that's day one.
Day one.
That's day one.
Day one. You're in the first little thing of the ladder, like,
yeah.
you know?
But you can do a lot of shit without the label. And guess what? You don't have those handcuffs on you. You might not have the budgets, but there's so much shit that you can figure out without budgets these days.
Mm-hmm.
How would you recommend a kid who's trying to figure it out at home to strategize? They don't have any money, but they're figuring it out, trying to figure it out.
Well, in terms of PR, in terms of like in general, like music wise?
No, PR. And thinking of keeping it in PR.
I think right now, like it's just so easy to get into to find contacts. Like build a database.
True.
Like build a database and start reaching out to people and DMing people and get their emails and start sending them information like little by little. Like somebody will open that email and say, oh, this is really good. Like
a publications and stuff?
Like, well, you could just get like Constant Contact or MailChimp and start like doing your little like newsletters and start putting it out there. And like, you know, I've seen artists grow like that, you know? That's one of the things that I taught in my communications class and my PR class at USC. Like it was actually like an experiential learning class where they actually worked with a student who was an artist and did a whole entire campaign. And I'm like, you have to find 40 contacts. And out of those 40 contacts, you have to get 2 interviews. That's one of the assignments that they had for a grade.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So they actually had to go and find like contacts and pitch to them. And, you know, it's like you start at a college level if you're in college or like right out of college. You start like, you know, trying to perform in colleges and like get in college publications. And like there's a lot of students who are studying journalism or music business who have their own blogs, like target those kids. Like you have to have a starting point, right? Like if you're a rapper who's like popping off in all the college campuses, like that eventually starts to seep over to college campuses in the next town and the next town, you know? So I think
build the connections with the other colleges.
You build the connections with the other colleges. So, you know, you have to just like tap into like some sort of network, right? Some sort of like community, not network, community, and then start there. Like a lot of the students would like try to like get interviews with like Rolling Stone. And I'm like, you're not going to get Rolling Stone. Think blogs, think small publications.
Blogs?
Like, yeah. Like
little. Still to this day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blogs and, you know, think like small influencers and small social media accounts. And like, you know, people start discovering word of mouth is still king.
Yes.
Still king.
What's a good pitch?
It depends on the artist. There's not a good pitch. It really depends on the artist.
So for these kids that you were telling them to pit and they're pitching these blogs, these small, you gonna say something?
Yeah, no, I'm getting my answer ready.
Oh, okay. Well, how are you communicating to these kids what to say? Lengthy, short, to the point? Like
short, to the point. Short and punchy.
Okay.
What is interesting about you? What do you tell somebody when you go on a first date with them that'll make that person interested in you?
I'm Iron Man. I don't know. I'm Iron Man. I don't know.
What's something that's compelling about you?
Yeah.
Like what is something that's compelling about your story? I know what's compelling about my story. What I just told you about my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That explains everything about me. Literally. So if I wrote my bio, I would lead with that. My first sentence in my bio as an artist would be, I'm the daughter of war refugees. I would literally start my bio like that.
How important is that? Like when you're pitching, they're not going to know who the fuck you are. You're trying to pitch on behalf of your friend who's an artist. And you're acting as a publicist, whatever.
Yeah.
How important is that subject line, that first line?
It's everything.
Okay.
It's everything. You know, so if you have to capture people's attention with a subject line in the first sentence. If not, it's done. It's the same thing as video content. If in the first 15 seconds somebody doesn't pull you in, it's over.
First 3. Yeah.
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 So I think, you know, again, if I was writing my bio, my first sentence would be, I'm the daughter of war refugees. My existence is political. That would be my second sentence.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I do music because music, I don't know, was, you know, the only thing that gave me peace.
Right.
Whatever. But my first 2 sentences would be like, boom, boom. Right there, it's like, ooh, who is this person?
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, most people I think would be like,
no, for sure,
intrigued.
Yeah, that's an interesting headline.
So for me, it's like, what is interesting about you? What is powerful about you? What have you been through in life that people could want to just like go hard for you? You know, we all love a story of adversity. We love that shit because it's beautiful. It's beautiful to know that somebody had it rough and that they came up and they, like, I met someone recently who, I gotta put you onto this kid. He went to jail when he was 16 for murder. I think he was 16. He did 18 years. He grew up in a really tough neighborhood and he murdered another kid. And in three days after he went to jail, his brother got murdered.
Wow.
And the guy who killed his brother ended up in his same block.
Wow.
And they put him in solitary confinement for 30 days because they thought that he was going to end up killing that guy.
Okay.
The guy who killed his brother.
Right.
He ends up writing an album in 30 days
In
solitary confinement. And then comes out and makes peace with the guy who killed his brother because he took someone else's life.
Hmm.
He spent 18 years in the pen, and now they're doing this whole entire film about him.
He's 34 when he got out?
I believe he's like 34 right now. His story is incredible.
He just got out?
He just got out like a couple years ago.
What's the artist's name?
JJ88.
Okay.
And he's working with Richie Reseda.
Okay.
Who's an activist, and they have this whole film about him, and his story is incredible. And he's the sweetest. He performed at my event in April.
He? Oh, okay.
And I imagine me being his publicist and me telling somebody that story because it's a story about redemption. It's a story about adversity. It's a story about, how are you not angry? You came out, you were in there for 18 years and you came out and you are proof that with the right resources and the right community, like there's no recidivism. Like you can like be somebody and have a life after jail. A lot of people don't have a life after jail. They go right back to jail because there's not like a system of support.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine I tell you that story and you work for Complex. You're not gonna want to interview this kid.
Right.
You're gonna be like, dude, I want to talk to this guy.
And you want to make sure you capture that with the first line, though, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Are you working with this person?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I love him, and any opportunity, like I always like write to the team. Anything that I could help him with, I'm,
Yeah, you're always down to do that and just kind of like.
Of course, I love connecting people. It's beautiful because I landed a new client. I officially haven't started working with them. Okay.
Can you say? You can't say?
No, not yet, because I haven't officially started working with them.
This won't come out till like September, by the way.
Okay, so I just started working. I'm unofficially working with this artist called Planta Industrial.
Okay.
They're a duo. They're fucking incredible. They do like punk music, and they're like from the Bronx, like urban punk, like it's insane. So their colors, I saw their colors. The people from Colors, one of the head guys of Colors is like, okay, now it's my turn to be your publicist, to be the publicist. I really want you to work with these guys. Like 5 people in the industry hit them up to say, you have to work with Loren. Like, it's crazy.
That's the match.
It was, no, match made in heaven. The first day we spoke, I was like, I love you guys. Like I literally like I love you both. Like I'm like, we're like, wow, like love fest, right?
Yeah.
I spoke to a booking agent. I don't know if I can say this yet, but whatever. He's a very desired booking agent. Like all of my fucking clients want him to be their booking agent. He has huge artists. The guy is amazing. So one day we're talking, whatever, and I'm like, "Do you know about Planta Industrial?" Because he's like my booking husband. Like we share a lot of clients. We share like 5 clients.
Oh, okay.
So I always joke. I'm like, he's like, like my booking husband. So every client I have is like, I want to work with him. I want to work with him. And I'm like, look, he's like me. If he loves it, he'll do it. If not, he won't do it. So I was like, do you know about these guys? And he's like, no, I don't. And I'm just like, yo, just watch this video.
The
He
Colors
was
video?
like, yeah, on Colors.
Yeah.
He was like, Loren, get me a call tomorrow. I said, yes, bet. I got them a booking agent.
Sick.
They have no tour history.
And
Their colors only has less than 60,000 views.
Wow.
They have no touring history. They don't have that many followers.
Mhm.
And usually a booking agent like wants someone with tour history and he said yes within 2 hours. He was like, get me on a call with them. I got them a booking agent.
That's fire.
I'm not even officially working with them yet. I think I start next week though.
That's important to note because that's how we got with DJ David Jacobs. Because DJ saw figures and somehow connected the dots, if I'm not mistaken, that Dana was working with us. Told Dana, like, yo, I need to meet this girl. I need to meet the team.
Yeah.
And Dana's like, yeah, I got you. And then so Dana was like, you got to go meet with David Jacobs and that. But in the business, you start building out your team just by making sure that, the relationships that the person has, like a publicist with a booking agent or with the publisher or whoever it is, like those are all interconnected a lot of times.
Of course. I've gotten artist managers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Booking agents, label deals. Shit. I do much more than PR.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's so beautiful to know that like I did that, or like I was a part of that success. I was like,
Of course.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what this booking agent is gonna do with these guys. Like I know he's gonna fucking
I'm gonna take it in when I go home.
No, you're gonna go crazy, bro.
Like what kind of punk is it?
It's just so different.
Okay.
You know my shit. Like I love things that are different.
You do love different shit.
They're really like there's no one like them out there.
Okay.
They're insane. And like all these big artists are following them now and writing to them like, yo, like hitting them up, like big artists. I'm like, oh my God, it's just about to pop so hard. I'm really excited about
Are you
them.
talking to them about their content strategy as well?
Not officially yet, but we already have so many ideas like floating. Like they're just really creative.
I'm curious from your perspective, how is it a good thing if you're seeing artists posting like 5 times a week? On their socials, does that bother you? Does it not? Does it take away the cachet of the artist? Does it depend on the artist?
It depends on the artist.
I hit you with like 7 questions.
Yeah, it ultimately depends on the artist.
Yeah.
And it depends on...
Do you think if they're not posting enough, it still works?
It depends. If you're Frank Ocean, sure.
But Frank Ocean was Frank Ocean before social media.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you're like that type of artist who's like mysterious and like...
But in this day and age, does that work?
It's very, very little.
Right?
Yeah.
That leads me to another question is like, what are things that you saw working back then that doesn't really hit anymore?
What did I see that was working back then that doesn't hit anymore?
That artists still think is like, no, we gotta do that. Like one thing, for example, that I think of a lot is like the late night show, right? Late night show is still a great moment, but it doesn't make or break you. It's just showing that there is progression in the artist's career.
It doesn't make or break you, but it definitely elevates your...
That's what I mean.
Profile.
That means there's progression, right? Like there's growth.
Yeah.
And your fans can really get behind that. It's like, oh my God, I saw my favorite artist is on Kimmel. Like there's a moment.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not gonna like open you up to a massive new audience.
If it goes viral, yeah. I mean, I think it depends.
Right.
It depends on what it is, and it depends on how well it performs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think ultimately that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have the sickest song in the world, but obviously if it doesn't stream well.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing with content. You can have the sickest content and be on the biggest late night show. For instance, like we had such a big impact with Caterina Baco when they did Fallon. It
Okay.
was massive.
Okay.
Like they don't get that much engagement and that many views for anybody. And so there was like so much anticipation about them being on Fallon and like
You know what? That's true.
because they're having like such a big moment. So it really depends. And then after Fallon, like, you know, now I'm talking to all these other late night shows
Great
and now
point.
all these other things. So it really depends. It really depends.
There's a great point though, but because they're having a big moment, that elevates it.
Yeah, and
Right?
it opens all these other doors because now it's like once I get them on Fallon,
that's a
I
good
could
point.
talk to like this person and that person, and then maybe I could get the couch, you know, because they don't always give you the couch time. You know what I mean?
That's what I look at all the time. I'm
I
like,
know.
yo, when you get the couch time, I
Yeah.
used to always say that. I'd be like, yo, you gotta get coach time
I
with
know.
Jesse and Trevor Noah. We got it.
Yeah, I
Trevor
remember
Noah.
that.
And that clip of her went viral
Yeah, exactly.
a bunch, right? So
Exactly.
like that does help.
It does help.
I think of it more so like on TV, you're not gonna get that reach, but you can repurpose that content on social media.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, we were lucky that Eminem still watches TV because when we did Seth Meyers,
Yeah,
that's how he came across Jesse.
that's
He watched
amazing.
Gatekeeper.
I thought that his daughter put him onto Jesse, or no? Wasn't that the
No.
story? No.
No.
Okay.
Maybe she may have, and he didn't. From my understanding,
Yeah.
he saw Gatekeeper on
Yeah.
TV. He's like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yeah, that's dope.
Called Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, and we happened to meet Paul. Like Jesse, Byron, and myself met Paul at UMG here in the Santa Monica office.
Yeah.
Just happened to be there. Said, "What's up?" Obviously, we knew who he was. And then he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you guys." And a few months later, I was like, "Yo, who's this girl?" And then Paul's like, "Well, if you think that's dope, you should see this video," and showed him figures.
Shit.
And then it was like, that's how it all kind of came
Yeah.
together. And Paul actually reached out to David Massey, who was at the label before. I'll never forget this. He texts me and he goes, "Hey, Ruiz, just wanted to let you know," I'm doing his like English accent, but he's like, "Hey, Ruiz, just wanted to let you know that Marshall's a fan of Jesse."
Marshall.
I don't know why, but in that moment, I guess I was distracted. I didn't get back to him. Who knows what happened? I kind of just left. Like I was like, "Oh, Marshall, cool." And then when I saw
And
him,
you know he was talking about Marshall
no,
Mathers?
no, I don't call him Marshall.
Of course not.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of like, all right.
Who the fuck is Marshall? I know he's Marshall Mathers,
Whatever.
but it's like, what?
But that's what he said. Like after he saw me, it was at the in New York, and he's just like, "Royce." I'm like, "What?" And he's just like, "Why did you get back to me?" I'm like, "About what?"
But Marshall?
And he's like, "About Marshall." And he's like, "Who's," you know? And he's like, "Marshall Mathers. He wants to be Jesse." I'm like, "I don't know him as Marshall."
Yeah, who
like,
the fuck knows
like
him?
Eminem. And I'm like, "Yeah, I know Eminem is."
I would die.
And Paul was at the same event that we were at, and he introduced me right there. I was like, "Yeah, okay, fuck, that is."
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would never address somebody by their first name if they're a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like, who the fuck is that?
Like, oh, sick. All right. Or for the chorus, everybody fucks with her. Cool. Like, I don't
Exactly.
know. What do you want me to tell you? That's funny.
Ah,
But yes, I was just thinking are the things that today don't necessarily work as much as they used to, but there are artists who still think that like this is a thing that, you know, it's gonna take me to a next level, or
some artists.
yeah.
I think the artists who have their like finger on the pulse of culture and pop culture, like
Yeah,
they know.
they know.
They're like, look, I know that this editorial piece is not gonna really like do too much for me, like whatever, but I know that I still have to do it because whatever, right? Like if you do an article on a big media site that's paywalled, like how many people are really reading that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Unless you have a subscription and like whatever. But you know it's important because it's a cosign.
Right.
And it's like, oh, so and so wrote an article about me.
Yeah.
And that still holds weight. You know what I mean? Like media getting articles on media is not as important as it was before because, for instance, before the internet, in order for you to get to know an artist, you had to read. You literally had to read. Reading is not necessary anymore, which is so crazy. Yeah. It's like, oh, the Rolling Stones, let me read. You had to pick up a fucking magazine and read that shit. Or you had to wait for hours until the TV interview came out at whatever time. Or remember, I don't know if you, well, we're not that far off in age, but like, I remember I had to sit watching MTV for hours waiting for them to play like my favorite video.
Yeah, same. But for us, it was back home was Butch Music in Canada.
Okay, so I had
Even when
to
I was
like
younger.
sit through like Yo MTV Raps, like waiting or like whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And then
Otherwise,
you wanted to record it. Because
right,
if you don't record it, you
Yeah.
gotta wait.
right.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I had to pick up a magazine and read it.
Yes.
And now, like, only like super hardcore fans read stuff. But it's still a cosign. And it's like, if I get you on Rolling Stone, then I have a good chance, like, you know, for the New York Times to put you on. And if the New York Times puts you on, then I have a good chance of Time Magazine putting you on. And if Time Magazine puts you on, like, it just all leads to whatever. But I think for some people, it's still like very important. Like, for instance, like to do like the big Univision shows that only my mom watches. They're like legacy shows at this point. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, the only reason we're gonna do those shows is because it's good to like everyone in Univision to know who you are. That holds weight when it
I
comes
remember
for the
you telling me
award
that.
shows.
I
Yeah,
remember you telling me that because I remember pushing back and being like, why are we doing this?
right.
And you explained it to me.
But I was like, look, the producers of all these shows, they're going to
Yes.
talk about you. They're going to get to know you. The word gets out in Univision. When it comes down to the award shows, they're like, oh, yeah, I've heard about Jessie Reyes. Like, this producer was telling me. They all talk.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, I remember she made a producer cry, remember?
Yes.
Like, in Despierta America.
Yes.
And, you know, that all helps build, right? It's no one's going to watch that except her aunts in Colombia and in Canada and like her mom and like whatever. And it's such a moment. But it just builds. But there's artists who think like that's the strategy. That's the only strategy. Like maybe like the older artists. You know what I'm saying?
Older artists, yeah. What do you tell them to get them off that? Or does it still apply to them?
I'm just like, we got to do a mixed bag. I don't work a lot of older artists, but I'm like, we got to do a mixed bag of things.
Right.
Like you can't neglect that, but you also can't neglect like the TikTok trends, and you can't neglect doing stuff with influencers. And like I had one of my clients the other day because he's really funny, and I was like, you know that have you seen that trend of like guys saying goodnight to each other?
This is outside one of the Univision.
That's in the Despierta America.
Yes.
I love him.
He's the best.
He's the best.
This is Shameless Papi.
Shameless Papi.
Outside
That's his
of-
dad. He's the best.
He's
Hey,
the
the man is the
best.
best, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
So, shit, what was I saying? I forgot.
We're talking about older artists and
Oh, yeah, it's a mixed bag. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you also have to do stuff with influencers. You should probably jump on this trend. It would be really funny. You know that trend of guys saying goodnight to each other? That went viral?
Yeah.
That shit had me in tears.
Yeah.
Right? So I was telling one of my clients who's really funny and he has a great personality. And I was like, can you please do this? And he was like dying. And he's like, yeah, but all my homies are so nice. They'd be like, oh, dog, thank you. That's really sweet. Good night to you too. And I'm like, no, you got to call the ones who are not like that. He's like, I don't really have friends like that. Yo, we were crying. But I was like, okay, so fine, do it, but let it be sweet.
Yeah.
And then people are going to be like, oh. So things like that. You know, I think, for instance, Robert De Niro did it with Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like if I was their publicist, I'd be like, dude, you guys have to jump on this trend. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? So imagine Robert De Niro, who's played like this bad boy his whole life, calling all his homies, calling Joe Pesci, calling, you know, all the guys who played all the mafia movies, and calling them and doing the goodnight trend. That would go viral.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cool, we're going to do the Hollywood Reporter and we're going to do all that. But bro, do this. This is great.
That's what's going to move the needle.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
By the way, all Latinos love Robert De Niro.
Of
I don't know
course.
if he knows that, but like we all
Of
fuck
course,
with him.
of course.
It's Scorsese.
And we love Al Pacino, even though he did a horrible Cuban accent on Scarface.
No, but he's
But
a
we
Cuban.
still-
He's an honorary Cuban. I always say that to me, the best Latin actor is Al Pacino, in my opinion.
Oh, man.
And I stand by that
Oh,
because of
God.
Scarface. Yo, me and my
the
boy.
worst accent in the world.
It's but it's amazing at the same
it is
time.
amazing.
It's amazing
It
at the
is
same
amazing.
time. Incredible movie.
You look like a lizard. I'm like,
Oh,
nobody
you look
talks
like a lizard. Oh, you look like a lizard.
Nobody talks like that. Ugh.
This is awesome, Loren.
Thank
This is
you for
great
having
catching.
me, man.
No, look, before you leave, because we were talking about reading, I try and remember to ask all my guests, but is there a few books, 3 books that you would recommend, music business or not, for people to read?
Whew, I don't read books on the music industry.
So they're not from the music industry. It doesn't matter.
Man, I read, if you want to get really pissed off, I just read this book by Noam Chomsky, who's one of my favorite actors. I'm sorry, writers. Sorry, Noam Chomsky. He's one of my favorite writers. He wrote a book called.
He's a linguist.
He's a philosopher. He's a political analyst. He's
an
an
anarchist.
author. Huh?
He's an anarchist.
He's an anarchist. He's my idol. He wrote a book called. It's a really long name, but it's like American idealism. How American. It's basically how American foreign policy is endangering the world.
Okay.
It's called American Idealism and Foreign Policy, something like that. It's really long name. It's one of his most recent books, and it's like red.
American Idealism?
Something
Oh, I know
like
what you
that.
mean. Yeah, The Myth of American Idealism.
The Myth of American Idealism and How American Foreign Policy is a Danger to the World. It's really long.
That is a long book.
That book is incredible.
Yep.
I just finished that.
On the note of Noam Chomsky, another good book is Manufacturing Consent.
Manufacturing Consent. I know. I have it on my list.
Yeah. I
it.
told you. Yeah, you got to read that book.
I know.
Great.
They told me I'm going to get really pissed off.
It's dense. No, not really. It's stuff that is happening today that we see
I know.
at all times. You know what I mean?
But I'm always
It's just going to reinforce.
I'm always pissed anyways. And then Poverty in America. Incredible book by Matthew Desmond. I'm really bad with names. Desmond. Those 2 books were life-changing for me that I read recently. And then anything by James Baldwin. He's my favorite author of all time.
Okay.
Baldwin is like I love him. Anything he writes. He was so ahead of his time. I don't know. I'm reading a lot of books now by Black revolutionaries.
Okay.
I have the next book I'm going to read is Let My People Live by Lila Khalid, Palestinian revolutionary. I have like a list of books. I don't know. I read a lot about politics, about history.
Yeah.
So right now that's what I'm on. But outside of that, Baldwin is just, for me, one of the most profound and incredible writers. And his whole existence was incredible. So yeah.
Your whole existence is incredible.
Thank you. Yours too.
No, listen, I appreciate you so much. Anybody that gets the opportunity to work with you is incredibly lucky.
Oh, thank
You're a
you.
real one.
Tell him to give me a raise. I'm praxed.
Love you, man.
I'm praxed. I love you too, man.